All right, everyone. Hope you're all doing good today. Hope you're all doing well. It's time for another episode of Speedruns From the Crypt, your bi-weekly horror hotfix. I'm your host, Dices, and we do have some fun games for you tonight. As well, before we do get into that, I do just have a few announcements I'd like to tell you about upcoming GDQ things and GDQ happenings. For one, we have Back to Black 2025, the upgrade to UBAF, which will be live from February 6th to the 9th here on Games Done Quick Twitch channel, benefiting Race Forward. You can catch all the action, support an incredible cause, and you can type !BTB in chat to see the event schedule. As well, if you want to know more about the all-black speedrunning community, you can type !BAF in Twitch chat to find more information on that. Prize missions open up until February 1st for that event. As well, we do have our GDQ Hotfix shirt, 2024 Season 4 shirt, which you can find at theyeti.com/GDQ. Anyway, I hope all of your days have been great today. For today's episode, or tonight's episode of Speedruns From the Crypt, we're going to be focusing on demon hunting. I picked some games, they have demons in them, and you know what? Our runners are going to hunt them down. That's how it goes. A lot of fun horror action for you. Also some pretty high intensity stuff knowing some of these runs. Anyway, the order is going to be over here. We'll be checking out these runs. We will have Nightmare Decay, Onimusha, and to kick things off, we'll be having Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition New Game Human with DE Cosmic. Take it away.
All right, hey, my name is DE Cosmic. This is Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. We're going to be playing specifically with the main cast, which is going to be Nero, Dante, and V. So I guess we'll just kind of get things started and then I'll explain from there. So in 3, 2, 1, go. So Devil May Cry 5, the latest in the Devil May Cry series, it starts off with Nero, Dante, this new guy named V who's right here, and a couple of their friends, Lady and Trish. They're going to kill the Demon King Urizen. And Urizen has taken over the city of Redgrave with this demon tree called the Clyfoth, and he has these creatures that are actually made from humans. If you look in like the demon design art and everything, you can actually see like human faces in these demons and everything. And we're gonna have to do all this. This is the prologue, by the way. This is a little rough start, but anyway. So the prologue here, we're playing as Nero, and Nero has a sword that behaves like a motorcycle. It's called the Red Queen. He can actually rev it, and it will give you more attack speed and more attack damage every time you rev the sword. You can either rev it manually with the L2 button by default, or whenever you swing, there's a 7 or 8 frame window, or you can also, when you do the air taunt here as well, you can use L2 to instantly get the power up rather than kind of revving it like 3 or 4 times to get the single stock. So if you do that, you pretty much have to do that every time you swing the sword with Nero, just to be able to do some of the cycles that we're doing. To manipulate the boss here, which is Urizen, we're going to actually shoot 3 times and then taunt. He's going to always throw this fireball. We're going to shoot 3 times again and taunt. And he's going to throw a fireball again here after this time bubble. Now, we're not going to do anything here because we're going to run to the right instead, get hit by this laser, and then hopefully jump on one of these guys. All right, good. We actually used to think that fight was a lot more RNG than it actually is, but that was only because we were doing like 1 round of 3 shots into a taunt, and now we do 2 shots into a taunt, and it scored 2 sets of 3 shots into a taunt, and now it's pretty much consistent. So now we're going to kind of get into the meat of the game here. We're introduced to this mechanic called Devil Breakers that Nero has, and the Devil Breakers are these consumables. They pretty much replace like the regular consumables in the game. They all have their own little unique abilities. There's regular abilities from the Devil Breakers, as well as the breakages, which are the charged versions. The first one is called Overture, and the charged version of it actually plants a bomb on the enemy. So we're going to actually do that 3 times to this boss. All right, so second time there. And down. So what we did there was just slash 3 times while charging the Overture, and then we were able to just plan it immediately, and we just did that 3 times. That fight, again, pretty much entirely canned. What this is going to allow us to do by not taking any damage there, when you don't take damage in this game on missions, you get huge red orb bonuses. And red orbs are going to be the currency that we're going to use throughout the course of this run to not only buy more Devil Breakers, but also buy moves that the characters are going to need to get through the game much faster. We're going to get introduced to the shopkeep here, Nico, who also is responsible for building the Devil Breakers. So we're going to get speed to allow us to run faster everywhere. That seems to help. We're going to get Split and Streak. We're going to just get some moves here. Split and Streak are going to allow us to have basically a ground slam with our sword as well as a dash with our sword. Roulette Spin is going to be our main damage dealer. It's going to allow Nero to... It's like a pause combo in action games where you do 1, 2, you wait a second, and then you hit the attack again. We're going to use it for some of the enemies with more health. But these enemies right here, we're just going to kind of cut them up. This is actually the city of Redgrave here as well, and you can kind of see just sort of how torn up by the demon tree it actually is. And I should note, too, that Nero is not packing two real arms because Urizen took one of them. Or a guy that we presume to be Urizen took one of them. In the levels, there are Devil Breakers sort of strewn everywhere. They're pretty much mostly fixed drops. There's a couple of exceptions to that. We'll go over the relevant ones. But the Gerbera one here, which is named after a flower, allows us an air dash. Or a ground dash, too. Just without even using the sword. These Hellcanis here are actually based on the enemies from DMC3. I believe they're called I actually don't remember their names from DMC3, but they're the guys that Dante fights in Mission 1, or starting in Mission 1. And we're just going to take them down. Pretty much nothing doing. This is another mission where we really want to make sure that we get a no damage, just because it's decently easy to do that on this mission in the first few missions. You know, famous last words and all that sort of stuff, but nothing doing. We're going to stand behind this thing to skip a line of dialogue. And then we're just going to go over this way. These are the Nidhogg hatchlings. They're essentially the rusty keys of this game, or the key items that we're going to use to progress in some instances. The Gerber over here is also fixed, so we're going to pick that up. We're going to be using these two on the boss of the level. The Overture we're going to be using for a strat coming up, which is actually a strat that was found really early on in the game and has just sort of stayed since then. So first of all, we're going to hit this guy. And now we're going to charge up the Overture again and lock onto this dude over here, kick his buddy into him after planting a bomb on him. And then you just shoot the one guy using a shot, and then it blows up both of them. So it's pretty dope. That is one of the few strats that was never revamped, and I'm really happy because it's super cool. So this fight here is actually a little weird. A lot of waves in this game are actually determined in progression by the enemy, like the amount of enemies that you kill. But this wave is actually timed. So no matter how fast we kill these guys, we just kind of got to sit around for a little bit before this dude spawns. And then this guy's going to spawn here. We're going to try and stay in the middle of the room here, so when we backflip like this, we end up right back at the door. Now, moving through the town center here, we're going to actually be grabbing one more Nidhogg hatchling for the level to head to the boss. But we're also going to be doing a dev-intended skip, actually. I forget if there's an achievement for this, but it probably is. We just call it pit skip. So this piece of roadway here can actually collapse, and we're just going to go right on over it. And we're going to head into the boss fight against Goliath. Now, he typically has 3 phases, Goliath, but we're going to try and kill him in 2. So he's going to get, we're going to start on the roof of this church and then get knocked into it, and we're going to try and kill him inside the church. So here we go. Alright, so there we go. First phase done. We're going to use the Gerbera there. Uh-oh. Alright, good. Cool. Good. Alright, there he goes. So now he's down. He got killed in the church, so we saved like 15 seconds there of having to watch him do this whole big attack and then jump out of the church and everything, and we didn't take any damage. So runs off to a good start. Moving into mission 3, we're actually going to get access to a new devil breaker called Punchline. And Punchline, not only does it, we can ride it like a skateboard, which is pretty dope. It's like a rocket skateboard. And you can also uppercut enemies with it and a bunch of other cool stuff. But we're going to use it for pretty much just the boss, and we'll get to that in a second. But first, we're going to have to use these things called Grim Grips. And Nero, since he doesn't have a regular arm on his right side, he has this wire that he can use to pull enemies to him, which is just called Wire Snatch. And the Grim Grips are actually just, you know, a way of getting him around levels that have not so flat geometry. These were a thing back in DMC4, and they were called the same thing, but they used his little phantom arm that he had in that game, the Devil Bringer, to pull him everywhere. So this fight right here, the Hellcanas, there's only going to be 2 of them, and then there's going to be like a cleaver enemy with some bats. Actually, there's just going to be 3 Hellcanas, I lied. Don't worry about it. Well, I'm going to play that safe, yep. Because sometimes it's pretty easy to parry those flame attacks back at the bats, but it's a little finicky, so we're just going to play it safe. Now, this is actually where we're going to diverge a little bit from the regular edition of Special Edition, because Silly Me had a run that was reviewed by the developers on IGN, and I got a skip patched here on this level. And the version of it that exists on Special Edition is quite inconsistent compared to the version that we had on the regular version of DMC5. So I had to apologize to everybody for that, because now on this version, even though it only saves like 15, 20 seconds, it's much harder to do. I suppose the damage is minimized a little bit by turbo mode being a thing, because turbo mode does enhance the work rate of the game by about 20%. So that time save there is shrunk a little bit, but silly me is what we'll say. So now we got to go in here, and we'll shoot this barrel to get these guys out of the way. Grab this enemy, grab this one right here, and then we'll move on to the cleaver so we can get introduced to another returning enemy, this time from DMC1. This is going to be the Sin Scissors. Now, the Sin Scissors in DMC1 runs, they are quite notorious for being pretty random, I should say. Pretty random to one-shot kill. There's ways you can control them, but, you know, it is what it is. These guys right here, on the other hand, in DMC5, quite easy to make them do what you want. This fight always goes the same way. You can just bait them into an attack, parry them by striking their scissors with your sword, and then just shoot them once they go into that like screaming phase. The boss here, Artemis, is going to give us like one of 3 patterns, and then we're going to just dust her using the Punchline charged attack. So we'll see what we get here, actually. Oh, good. My favorite. So we're going to use Punchline here to knock her to the ground, and Artemis has actually moved less than 90 degrees, which means that she's always going to get up this same way. And then that allows us to just loop the break gauge with Punchline to smack her back down into the ground. So, another no damage. Really, really good start. Pretty much optimal start. The next mission here, where we're going to take a break from Nero for a couple of missions here. We're going to play as V now. And V uses some familiars. He uses, again, enemies returning from DMC1. Shadow, Nightmare, and Griffin. Now, they're a little, or at least Nightmare and Griffin are a little different from how they appear in that game, but Shadow's pretty much 1-to-1. So, Griffin is essentially V's ranged attack, and Shadow is his melee attack. Nightmare, the golem that you'll see, we kind of call down from the heavens, that's his devil trigger, or his powered up state here. We can also power up Griffin and Shadow with the little purple auras that you see around them currently. And this puts them into sort of like an auto mode. And mostly what this means is that they get enhanced at the cost of like less control over them, really, but at the same time, they behave more consistently. Because normally Griffin shoots like these little pellets to kind of resemble, you know, like a gunshot. But in auto mode, he just shoots his regular, like he shoots like a lightning pillar. And the lightning pillar is basically his charged gunshot. Right here is actually a skip, if I don't mess it up. This is just fence skip, so we're going to actually swing V's toes into the cutscene trigger there, and it's just going to teleport us down into the fight below. We don't have to actually do that fight at all. Nightmare is going to try and do that fight. We're just going to call him away. Because that fight, that cutscene will always trigger Nightmare to come out. Going to get the white orb here. That's going to refill the purple bar in the upper left corner of the screen here. Right where you also see the health bars of familiars. Right now, only Griffin's out. But you might notice that V actually has to finish all of the demons that we fight, and that's because I believe it's in Visions of V, the manga that's related to V. But because Griffin and Shadow are actually apparitions or like remnants of V's memories or something of that nature, they can't kill because they're not technically real. Something that was actually explained in that manga a little bit better than it was in the game, which in the game they say that, you know, demons can't kill demons, which is, I believe, what Griffin says in this mission right at the start, but it's mostly just because they're not technically real. So we're going to grab this guy, and then we'll do this. It is pretty important to, while you're finishing off an enemy with V, to switch targets and then start attacking another enemy with Shadow and Griffin, because some of his finisher animations are pretty long. So while V's doing that, while he's taking care of business, you want to make sure that the squad is, you know, pulling up to deal with anybody that might interrupt him. And while it's not totally necessary to get a no damage on this mission, it is nice. It is nice to have like a little bit of extra cushion on the orb route. So we're going to grab this guy right here. Oh boy, nice. So I thought I was going to regret that, but I'm glad I didn't. All right, so here we go. We're going to try and finish these guys off. And then we'll be getting into the first wall boss of the game. This actually might be the only wall boss. We're going to also switch to auto mode here for V himself. And this is going to actually allow us to do a much more consistent cycle on Nidhogg, because the familiars are going to also perform a little bit more consistently with their AI in auto mode. It limits the amount of commands that we have access to by way of making it, you know, the game a little bit automatic. But it's going to make things, like, trust me, it's just going to make things easier. All right, so now that that's done, we're going to do this. We're going to do this again right here, and then we're going to call Nightmare back in, get Griffin charged up, and we're just going to start just tossing Arcane at this guy. We're not going to get, I think, an optimal cycle here, but it will be pretty good, all things considered. Oh, okay, well, we took damage there. That's fine. All right, but we're still going to get a pretty decently quick kill on him. Very cool. Awesome. Now, this was about the last time V's going to play fair with this game, because we're actually going to be getting into using a move with Shadow called Skewer, and this is just going to sort of turn everything on its head. Now, Skewer is a move, again, that's kind of carried over from DMC 1, where Shadow can turn its head into a spike. And you can stand on this spike because that's a thing you could do in DMC 1. But if you're in contact with the spike, but you cannot technically stand on it, like say if you're doing an air taunt move, the game will push you further along the spike, especially at higher FPS, until you could technically stand on it. And when you combine this with high FPS, you will just go out of bounds. So let me just concentrate for a minute here. There we go. Oops. Okay. He didn't stay. He didn't allow me to double jump. We're gonna try that again. There we go. All right. So now we're out of bounds, and we're gonna just kind of go past some of these fights right here. We're gonna skip down to the last area. So I'm gonna need to concentrate again here. That should be good. Yep, cool, we got it. So this allows us to skip down to the last area of the level. We didn't activate the fight that's on there, that's down there either, which is really nice. And then we can just go straight to the boss. So now we've saved like 2 minutes or probably 3 minutes or something like that. Something absurd. But we're gonna go straight to the boss. His name is Garyon. He's a version, or he's like Garyon the Knight or something like that. But this is the Garyon Knight. The Garyon is a returning boss from DMC3, but this is him with a knight on him. And so the Garyon horses in this series control time. And this boss is not only can he like make V and the familiars really slow, he also is extremely mobile. Now, fortunately, Shadow gave him what for there with Skewer, because Skewer, even if we couldn't use this move for out of bounds glitches, it is like V's most damaging combat move. And like, it doesn't seem like it right there, but this is also because Garyon has oscillating defense values, which is very strange to me, but I suppose it's cool. Oh boy, he's gonna dust me. Oh boy. Be careful, V. He has horsepower. And Garyon's down. And we also got no damage on this mission, so that's pretty cool. Also, he says no clock can die here because even though we're on turbo, the voices don't speed up. The sound files all still play the same. So he normally says, but of wisdom, no clock can measure, die. But since it's sped up by 20%, it cuts him off at no clock can. So he says no clock can die. Which is nothing really, but it's funny. So go ahead and back to Nero here. We're going to go ahead and buy a bunch of stuff for him. And we're going to equip him with these loadouts for different sorts of devil breakers. We're going to put a bunch of stuff on him. We're going to get to what these are all for, but we pretty much don't need to set up any more devil breaker magazines or loadouts for the rest of the game. This boss here is actually interesting. It's pretty interesting because it's effectively like a Shadow of the Colossus boss, but in Devil May Cry. And it's treated like an environmental hazard. So because it's treated like an environmental hazard, it doesn't actually get the speed boosts from turbo mode. So on Special Edition, we're actually able to skip an entire walk cycle from it and get right underneath it in order to have it drop pretty much immediately. If we were on the regular edition of this game, we would have had to wait for it to complete one walk cycle before it dropped. And we're just going to kind of have to hack away at this little bit right here. Ooh, okay. Easiest way to do this is just to use the electric hand from Overture while doing some aerial slashes. He's a little bit random sometimes with, you know, whether or not he actually wants to... Oh boy. Oh goodness, that sucks. Alright, well, that's nothing doing. Excuse me. Really? Alright, that's fine. Hopefully I can salvage this a little bit. That's pretty unfortunate. Alright, cool. That's good. I really did not think that those spikes were going to hit me, but fortunately we got the no damage from Mission 5 earlier, so we should not be missing anything in terms of orbs. Alright, cool. So that enemy's going down, and we're about to get into breaking the game again. Because we're going back to V, this is the first mission in the game where you can actually choose between at least 2 characters that you would want to play it with. When the V-skips got discovered, this was one of the first missions to really be rerouted, essentially, because we actually used to use Nero on this mission because he's really fast. He does tons of damage. He can, dust people with some of his breakers that he's got. He's just really good character. And overall, I think he might have to do, maybe one less fight than V or something like that. Or his is just really fast. Or his fights are just really fast. But V now can save a minute by just skipping to the end of the level. So, here we go. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're out of bounds now. And we're just going to have to walk around here real quick. I'm actually going to save my location here. And you do this by just kind of standing around a little bit out of bounds. The game will just save your location, so if you void out, it's not a big deal. And normally, like I said, you would have to do a bunch of fights around this area with V or Nero. This right here actually starts the area that they share. Also, there's a park bench here in the corner. It's part of the skybox. It's pretty neat. We're going to save our location here again, real quick. I'm going to climb this escalator here. All right. Ooh, hold up. Oh boy, okay. There we go, nice. Jumped a little bit too far. But we got it done. So now we're going to hit this checkpoint right here. And we're going to checkpoint back in bounds and then go straight to the boss fight here. Now, this boss fight is a little different from the others in that it's not actually a singular boss character. It is enhanced versions of normal enemies, which are the Scudo and Proto-Angelos. The Protos are going to be the dudes with the huge swords. The Scudos have a shield and a sword. And we're going to use this mechanic that we like to call the Angelo exploit, where, he's going to make this difficult for me, man. Oh, come on, Nero. All right, never mind, we got it. We're good. Never mind, we didn't get it. I actually got hit, and we lost the no damage, but it's fine. So what happened there when I did the snap to call in Nightmare, all of the Angelos got put in a finisher state because when the enemy is in a formation, when these enemies are in a formation like that, oh, that was still pretty fast, actually. Nice. Cool. When those enemies are in a formation like that and you parry them, it puts them all into a finisher state. And then V can just immediately finish off 2 or 3 of them. Unfortunately, we got clipped by one of the Angelos, so couldn't do anything there, but we move onward. Now, going back to Nero, this is going to be the run back from the prologue where, we have to fight the Demon King Urizen again. That was actually a force fail. I forgot to explain this earlier, but that prologue is a force fail. You can beat him technically, and it just gives you an alternate ending, but y'all aren't here to see a 5-minute run. You're here to see the full game, so we're not doing that. But now Nero's got, he's got his arm, he's got his sword all pumped up. He's had a month break or something from fighting this guy. He's like, all right, I'm ready. I'm amped, dude. And we get to go through these little parts of these big these big blood elevators and stuff. This is a pretty neat section of the game too, because we really start to get into the heart of the tree, and you start to see sort of all this organic architecture and stuff. Excuse me. Thank you. Although I do really like the ruined cities and stuff that are in the early levels of the game. A lot of them are just really, really cool. Let's get airborne. And these tentacles are going to pop out of the ground here too, but we're just going to avoid them.
Where does this go?
There we go. And we can just keep on just doing Gerber here. This is going to be another sort of dev intended skip where we just have to jump over this little puddle right here. And that just skips a fight. We're going to grab this just for some extra orbs, just in case. All right, so there we go. Excellent. And we're going to do this.
Going down is the only way, huh?
Nice. All right. And we're going to fight this enemy called, I believe, the Baphomet. And they're like a goat enemy. 2 more of them are going to spawn here, and we're going to use the Gerbera, which bounces around the room. I didn't have time to explain this earlier, but every time those little lasers from Gerbera bounce around the room, they deal more damage to the enemies, which is why it was so potent against Goliath, but it was pretty much gone in a flash with Goliath, so yeah.
Where's he gonna take me now?
Heading down into this room, we're just going to do another intended fight skip. The cool thing about a lot of Nero's levels is that there's multiple ways to go through them. There's at least like 2 or 3 possible paths through everything you can take. If you take into account like alternating paths, essentially, like always going to the left, always going to the right, going right, then left, going left, then right, that sort of thing. So a lot of replayability in them, especially mission 15 when we get there. Here we're going to grab this punchline that's on the ground. And we're going to actually use this on the Baphomets that are going to spawn on mission 2, or wave 2, I'm sorry, because they have projectile shields up. And that prevents Nero from using Wire Snatch on them. And there we go. Ooh, okay, there we go. Nice. All right. And then I'm gonna head on here. I feel like my headphones turned off. All right, yeah, I gotta plug these in. Apologies for that. Just when you think that they're plugged in and charged and everything, they prove you wrong. Cool. All right. So now, moving onward, we're going to actually get to the boss fight itself against Urizen. And unfortunately, this is going to be another force fail, but we're going to, in terms of moving the run forward, but we're going to be moving forward on the second wave of this, or the second phase of this fight, as opposed to the first phase like we did in the prologue. So once we get past here, this is also an area where you can actually lose your speed boost pretty easily, so I'm glad that that didn't happen to us. All right, so here we go. We're gonna go ahead and dash forward and then charge up the Gerbera. Cool. Ooh, all right, well that got hit, that's fine. So we're just gonna have to do some roulette spins there. Normally you would use 2 Gerberas on him, but the fireball there sort of just interrupted our plans. He usually doesn't do that too. Very rare that he does that. All right, so we're gonna use the Helter Skelter there. That's the only time that breaker is actually seen in the run. It's a drill. And we're going to just get hit by these things. We actually damaged Urizen quite a lot in this mission, because during this second phase here specifically, because the more damage that you do to that crystal, the more damage that Urizen will do to you. And this actually guarantees that he'll like 2-shot you as opposed to like 3 or 4-shotting you. So you save a bunch of time on dying faster that way. Now, this mission, this was probably, I think, the biggest skip that might have ever been found in this game. Because this cut this mission down from like, 5-6 minutes or something to in the ballpark of 2.5 or something like that, or 3 minutes. But first we got to do this fight, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're going to get over here, attack this behemoth. The Nightmare Call there is always going to break his armor. We're going to grab these guys over here, get Nightmare out of here so we can start building some Devil Trigger again. Excellent. Alright, so now this skip right here, I'm going to explain it now. Essentially what we're going to do is we're going to have to angle ourselves on the spike and jump a little bit off of it and glide a little bit with Griffin over to where the end of the level is, because this level is essentially U-shaped, or like a horseshoe. You can actually see the end of the level right from the beginning of it if you just look to the right. So here we go. That should do it. We'll see though. Good. All right. Excellent. That is not easy. the fail. If you fail that trick, you got to restart from the beginning of the level and do that fight again. So, very happy that we got it here. All right. So these nobodies here, they're returning from Devil May Cry 1 as well. You might have noticed this game loves to reference the other games, and that's pretty cool. Definitely a lot of fan service present, and I'm okay with that. First game in the series in 10 years, yeah, I'll take a little fan service for sure. Very crucial too that we ended up getting the no damage here as well, because you get a huge boost in it. You get a huge boost of red orbs by getting no damage on this mission. So now we're out of the woods kind of with V. There's one more hurdle to face with him, but that's in a few missions. Now we're going to get into my favorite character, which is Dante. Everybody's favorite, or maybe should be your favorite. Well, if you like Nero a lot, I'm not going to judge you, but it's cool. So Dante is effectively this game's Swiss Army knife. He has multiple styles that he can use. He has multiple weapons he can use at all time. You can just swap them in and out. You can actually unlock a thing later on that allows you to equip like 4 or 5 swords and guns at all times. It's pretty dope. But here he's only going to start out with 2 of each kind. We're going to just start out with gauntlets and a sword, as well as pistols and a shotgun. This game does an extremely good job of tutorializing itself, I should note. You'll notice that whenever we switch to a new character, the game not only does it not let us buy new moves for them at the very start, but it also pits us against the starter enemies again every time we get into like the first mission with a new character. So it eases you into the new character very well in that regard. And this is most apparent really when you're playing like Virgil and you go from fighting those like souped up enemies like the Proto-Angelos and stuff, and then you've got all your abilities and everything, and you're wiping everything out, and you're like, oh wait, I'm back to these regular enemies, the Impusas and stuff, because this is somebody else's new area. So we're gonna attack these guys. Nothing doing really right here, but excuse me. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Thank you. Appreciate that. We'll use this right here. The main style that we're going to really use for movement with Dante is going to be Trickster. We're not even going to buy the speed upgrade with him, because the Trickster dash, you can just chain it infinitely. And it's faster than just running with the speed upgrade. And it also saves us like 4,500 orbs, which is a lot in this game. So now for the purchases, we're going to upgrade Swordmaster all the way. It's going to give us access to his giant, like, uppercut nuke, essentially. We're going to upgrade Trickster to give us access to a teleport. Primarily, it's going to give us access to a teleport and an air dash. Or better air dash, I should say. And then we're going to get Stinger, which is going to be another sword dash, sort of like Nero's streak. This enemy, hopefully we're going to be able to Royal Guard him. Yep, okay. So we just guarded him, parried him. and then we can stack up to the real impact here, because Balrog in this game has the ability to activate a passive called Ignition. And Ignition is activated one of two ways, which is you can either do 10 hits in the punch mode or do a little dance by holding down the melee button in the kick mode. And that gives you access to real impact. We're going to parry these guys again. Let me move back up here again here too, so it'll charge me. Come on. Nice. So when you see the gauntlets like yell at Dante, and they just glow like a bright orange, that means that they're in ignition mode. And they do more damage. They've got extra effects on attacks. And then you'll also have access to like Swordmaster level 4 moves. Once you've unlocked Swordmaster level 4 anyway. And real impact, it just does tons and tons of damage. It doesn't do quite as much as maybe its DMC4 counterpart, which had, extra exploits attached to it, but can all be distorted real impact. The fight coming up here, normally you would fight in this big hallway here, but we're going to actually use something that I like to call existence priority or encounter priority, where we activate that secret fight over there. And that will normally get you a little unlockable, like a purple orb fragment or something. But because that fight's still going on, and then if you try to activate the fight out here, it won't activate it because it still thinks that you're doing the secret fight. And it doesn't want to lock you out of doing that secret fight because it wants you to get the collectible. But as a result, you can just sort of walk past there and nothing happens. Which is nice because that fight is filled with a lot of tanky enemies. So this game is extremely good about how it handles being sequence broken and how it handles allowing players the freedom to get through levels and allow them to unlock everything as well. And I really, really think that it's an incredible game for speedrunning because when I do these skips, I don't really have to hit triggers in order to progress the mission. You can just sort of go where you need to and then hit a cutscene trigger or cutscene flag or a battle flag or something like that. And the game just sort of rolls with it and is yep, that's fine, dude. I see you. We're here now, so you must have done what you needed to do to get here. And then we can just move on with our lives. But yeah, it's been an awesome game as it's evolved and gotten more glitch heavy because of how well it handles being sequence broken like that. Here you're going to also just get to see some of the power of real impact as these enemies all just sort of get blown up. Yeah, that was pretty much a perfect fight. Nice. Now, Yura's in here. Technically, you can force fail this, but on human, actually, it's easier and faster to win the fight here. So we're going to go ahead into ignition mode and then head into the fight real quick. Ooh, okay. And we're just going to uppercut Urizen 4 times. He's going to probably throw a time bubble at us right now, which is going to slow Dante down, but not too much. There we go. Nice. Pretty good mission 10 overall, all things considered. So now we get into mission 11. This is probably one of my favorite missions in the run. Just very combat heavy. A lot of cool stuff you can do with Dante in this. Pretty particular cycles, and hopefully we can land the boss strat at the end. We're going to actually get Dante's father's sword, the demon sword Sparta, because this actually, mission 10 takes place during the prologue of the game, and then we fast forward back to the present a month later, where Dante has taken a nap for a month because he got beaten so hard by Urizen. So V actually woke him up by attempting to stab him with the demon sword Sparta. And Dante's that's not cool, bro. And then he wakes up, and then he starts to use the sword. Because Dante's sword, Rebellion, that we were using last mission, is actually kaput now. Urizen destroyed it in their fight. get the double kill here, please? Oh, thank you so much. There was another enemy that spawns in next to that enemy that we saw there in the front. And as long as your movement is consistent, you can just double kill them. And it makes for a very fast fight. Cool. Now we're going to do a little bit of platforming here. We're not going to apparently do that. Nice. Cool. This enemy coming up here is called the Judeka. It teleports around a lot. So hopefully it doesn't teleport around a ton. Because I need to basically just... Okay, well, it hurt me. Because we're just going to do my favorite first playthrough when I was first getting into these games. My favorite strat was to spam Stinger. I'm sure I'm not alone in that.
Up we go, I suppose. It's like the fastest route. Well, that's gonna collapse.
And then you can just take it down. Here we're going to actually build ignition off this guy, and we're going to break his shield as a result. We're going to also get more Devil Trigger. And we're going to take this dude out with another real impact. Come over here, and then the shotgun in this game, for whatever reason, has a curious property of making it very easy to, like, knock things down. So bats and stuff, they just sort of, like, get closer to the ground when you shoot them with the shotgun. Which is not an effect of the shotgun that I would have thought was a thing. So I didn't think to do it until a friend told me. I was like, yeah, you can just do that, dude, and just bring him down. You don't gotta teleport to him or nothing. Just hit him with the shotgun. And I was like, all right, bet. So the boss coming up here is Cavalier Angelo. I had to sort through the Angelos in this game to figure out the right one. I forgot the name for a second. And we're going to hopefully stack up some Royal Guard against this guy and do a couple of real impacts to kill him, but we'll see how it goes. Nice. Nice. That was the strat that had been giving me a little bit of trouble last couple of days, so I'm happy that I landed that. It's always a bad feel when you struggle with your own strat, but here we go. Now, this mission is actually the last one that we'll do with Dante for a little bit. And it is a mission where normally you would have to go through a bunch of these winding tunnels, but the developers were kind enough to actually give us a way to get through here that they wanted people to use. And we know this because there is actually a bonus red orb reward for completing this mission without using any Clyfoth hatchlings, or Nidhogg hatchlings, I'm sorry. So normally you would pick up these Nidhogg hatchlings that are in like the doorways, and you would go through a bunch of winding tunnels and fights. But instead of doing that, number one, what you can do is jump up on this thing right here and get up to these gargoyle perches. That's not the intended way of doing that. The rest of this, I promise, is going to be intended. So we're going to take out this right here. This little, like, this blood clot there. And then we're going to use Dante's mobility that he gets with Devil Trigger and Trickster to just sort of hop to the next gargoyle perch. And then we're just going to keep it moving. We're going to grab this right here because we're going to need it to get to the last gargoyle perch. Excellent. Cool.
Keep Mr. Demon King waiting. Gotta pick up the pace.
All right, so here we go. Nice. We're just going to move over that gold orb as well because that's time loss. All right, so now we're going to go ahead down to this way.
been a
We're
while
going
since
to
I
head,
used my
almost
brain
got the
this
hole
much.
in one. We're going to start heading down to the boss fight against Urizen. And Dante remarks here again, like, it's been a while since I used my brain this much. It's like, yeah, dude, I've been napping for like a month. What'd you expect? At this point in the story is where Dante is actually going to absorb the Devil Sword Sparta into himself. And he's going to get Sin Devil Trigger, which is going to be basically his huge anime power-up form. And we're going to use it to take out Urizen. Hopefully, anyway. We're going to do a bunch of regular sword combos here with this. All right. And then we're just going to go ahead and do this right here. And he's going to be dead, dude. Excellent. So that was a Urizen 1 phaser. So now we're going to move into mission 13. And this mission actually underwent like 2 or 3 revisions during its time, and I'm going to be going for the newest route for it, which is going to be skipping it pretty much entirely, again with our guy V. So here we go. Basically, we're going to do this first part here, this first fight, and then we're going to have to clip out and do some pretty precise, like, out-of-bounds navigation. And I think it'll speak for itself, but because I really need to concentrate, so I'm going to just kind of lock in for that. Cool. All right, that's the first part done. So now we're in the last room of this mission. We've skipped like 3 floors worth of enemies. Oh, okay, hold on. So we got to hit a pretty specific trigger here. Yep, okay, we got it. Nice. Awesome. that was glad. I'm really glad that I landed that. That's like the first time that's been done in a marathon run, so that's sick. Very cool. All right. So normally what you would have had to do with either Nero or Dante was go through all of those rooms and fight a bunch of enemies, take out like all these things that spawn additional enemies. And that skip there saves like 50 seconds optimally or something like that, even though every character has to do that first fight against the giant floating blueberry. All right, so V here, at this point in the story, he's kind of weakened. It's revealed that he's like losing his strength, even though he's like only been born like a day ago. It's revealed pretty early in the game, spoilers, that this is actually Virgil, Dante's brother, but this is like his human half that he separated from his demon half. So if you kind of need like the Cliff Notes version, Urizen is Virgil's Heartless and V is his Nobody. If you want the Kingdom Hearts version. We're going to get stripped of all of our summons here at this point, and now we're just going to grab them in order, sort of. This is almost the dev intended order, but we kind of switched up one thing. We used to do this in the way that the developers had intended to, and I know this because it's in the IGN video. Hey, excuse me, Shadow, where are you? Okay, there we go. So normally what they would want you to do is grab Griffin first, and then grab Shadow, and then Nightmare. We're just going to switch around Griffin and Shadow's orders. So we're going to grab that first. And then we're going to fight. These are going to be like, these are weaker versions of some of the bosses that we fought earlier. So don't think that like with how fast they're sort of melting right now that V would have been able to like melt them even quicker than, you know, Nero or Dante did. These are actually just like ghost versions of them that V is seeing in in this version of them, in this version of like the stage. I should note too that like this whole area is so far outside of the map that I took like I clipped out of bounds with like an infinite jump trainer, and I still could not reach this area. Like jumping infinitely with Griffin is like out of bounds. It is completely separate from everything. There's like no way to get here earlier that we would have access to, which was kind of a bummer because it let me know that like we really wouldn't be able to sequence break this level, but I guess you can't win them all. There we go. All right. All right, he's going to teleport behind him. Nothing personal, kid. There we go. And Cavalier Angelo is down. Now, these are the last couple of V clips that we're going to be doing. They only save about 20 seconds each, but we're having fun, so we might as well just go for them. Essentially, what you would have to do in this last part of the mission is go for, like, destroy these blood clots, and then some vines would disappear, and then you would just move on with the mission. But we're just going to clip through the vines. So here we go.
They're safe.
We want to make sure that we take out this little thing of red orbs right here, otherwise Shadow is going to aggro onto it. All right, come on. Come on, Shadow. You were so good for mission 13. All right. This is how it always goes. V is expressing how I feel right now. There we go. Come on. All right, here we go. Nice. There we go. All right, excellent.
Is coming to an end.
This is actually the last time that we're going to see V in the run outside of maybe a cutscene. So like wave bye to V, everybody. That's all that's all she wrote for him. We will see Griffin, Shadow, and Nightmare later, but that's all we're going to see for V for the rest of the run. We're going to get to Nero here. We're going to just buy one little thing for a safety strat here. I'm going to buy Red Queen Combo D, which is going to allow us to supercharge effectively the last hit of our regular sword combo. And in this, we're actually going to use the Devil Buster, or the Buster Arm. Not to be confused with the Mega Buster from Mega Man, which is another Devil Breaker in this game. That's free DLC with the special edition. Actually, it's included. It's not technically not DLC with this. But the Buster Arm recreates Nero's grab from DMC4, but it's an extremely powerful version of it. So we're going to use it on a couple of the enemies in this mission. First, though, what we're going to do is grab these guys. Okay. Ooh. Grab this dude right here. It's not super paramount to kill those enemies super fast because this third enemy here always spawns at the same time. So you can just grab it as it's coming in. These enemies that we're just going to kind of run past. Years ago, somebody clipped me running through this section on my stream and titled the clip "The Cleveland Browns Defensive Line." I'm not a football guy, so I don't know if their defensive line ever got better, but any Browns fans in the chat want to defend their squad, feel free to. I have no stake in that game, but it's funny to think of nonetheless, even all these years later. The behemoth here, we're just going to grab and twist. Do a little loop-de-loop there. These guys, we're just going to take them to Suplex City, or Powerbomb City, or whatever you want to call this. I'm also not really well-versed in wrestling moves, as cool as a lot of the wrestling moves that Nero does are. In this next fight, too, we're going to be using the Buster Armor on pretty much every enemy, because the Judica that's going to spawn, we want to just take it out outright, because otherwise it's going to be teleporting all over the place, and this arena is pretty huge, so we want to prevent that from happening. It's going to always spawn in the same way. Also, this Overture here that spawned is a random drop, so that is like the best RNG for this mission, so I'm very glad that we got that. We're going to be able to use it on the boss. You'll see it when I pick it up here in a moment. Oh, okay. Well, that's done. That stinks. Nice. And we're going to treat this guy to a nice little bam, bam, bam kick. All right. So now, normally you would have 3 overtures going into this fight. If you get the best RNG on the mission for that breaker drop, you're going to have 4. And this is great because we're going to be planting 3 bombs onto the boss, and then we're going to be able to use this 4th overture for extra damage on her. Nice. All right, so one more we got to plant. Nice. Very good. And she's down. You can see how much damage like 3 overtures does to pretty much any boss in this game. It's kind of absurd. It's a little absurd. We're going to say goodbye to Nero for a bit, though, and we're going to go back to the guy Dante. And at this point in the story, like, all the heroes have split up, and Dante just sort of goes like, yeah, see y'all, I'm not hanging around. I got stuff that I got to take care of. I need to go my own way. So we're going to grab the upgrades to Gunslinger, as well as an upgrade ability called Dr. Faust 2. Now, Dr. Faust is the hat that we got earlier, which is this thing right here that we're now wearing. This weapon uses red orbs to power it, and it's extremely powerful, especially against living things. We're also fighting like undead things, and it's pretty powerful against them too. But with the fully upgraded Gunslinger style, because this is a gun, keep that in mind, a hat is a gun, at least in this game. And we can use the souped up version of this, like the level 4 Gunslinger style tool move called Red Hot Night, where we spend like 3,500 orbs to call down meteors from the sky and just decimate everything in our path. For these enemies, though, since the second enemy is going to always spawn in pretty much at the same time all the time, we're not going to waste red orbs on them. We're just going to use the bike. But on this enemy, we will use red orbs. Yep, 6,750 at the current cost here. This room is going to be a little finicky because it's actually going to be the only instance of a enemy called the Fury in the run. And hopefully he's not going to get to play the game. There we go. Yeah, he's dead. Normally he would they're like assassin enemies and they would just get to kind of teleport everywhere. But that's the only time that we see him in the run, because every other time that you would normally fight him, we just skip it. So fortunately, you don't have to worry about him. This mission actually went through a bunch of reroutes as well early on, because for a while in New Game, we weren't sure kind of, or at least I wasn't sure, how viable Dr. Faust was going to be because of the orb economy. And we were like, do we need to buy more, more moves late game? Should we be spending orbs on like doing moves with Dr. Faust? So we were using Sin Devil Trigger a lot on this mission at the very start. But it turned out that like when I rerouted this level to kind of account for Dr. Faust being used more, it was much faster to just use Dr. Faust. Because there's like a whole transforming thing for Sin Devil Trigger that we're going to see here coming into the boss fight. And we didn't need to zigzag around to get more white orbs and stuff. Pretty neat. Pretty cool. All right, so we're going to get Ignition here by doing a dance. And we're going to come into the Cerberus fight. Now, Cerberus is always going to charge at us, so we're going to have to guard it. And then immediately turn into Sin Devil Trigger and do some sword combos again to stun it. Alright. Nice. Alright, that one whiffed. That wasn't great, but we're going to just try it anyway. Good connects, I suppose. Alright. We got a good connect there on the uppercut. And drive on him. Good. Very good Cerberus fight, actually. And that was pretty much the last, like, normal level. The rest of the fights, or the rest of the levels from here on out are pretty much just going to be, like, boss rush style type stuff, or just fighting a singular boss. So, this fight is against Urizen in, like, his final form before Virgil comes back. I call him Urizen Wireless because he's lost all the tentacles that he has earlier in the game. And this whole area is, like, supposed to be Dante and Virgil's, like, childhood home. But it's all turns out to be a mirage by the power of the demon tree. And he's going to go down now. Nice. All right. So, kind of coming into the home stretch here. Probably the last, like, 4 or 5 minutes of the run or so. So, mission 18 here, I mentioned that Virgil comes back. V fuses with Urizen to bring back Virgil. And that's why we don't see V for the rest of the run, is because he turns back into Virgil. So, now we're going to have to fight V's familiars, Griffin, Shadow, and Nightmare again. And we're just going to be using Dr. Faust to take them down. So, going through here. Boom, boom, boom. This was another level that I added a lot of Dr. Faust to. We used to buy a bunch of upgrades in the late game, and they all pretty much got trimmed out for the power of the hat. Which, I mean, to be fair, it's a pretty stylish hat, so glad we get to see it a little bit more in the run now. Alright, here we go. It's pretty smooth sailing, though, from here. Pretty much everything that I wanted to hit in this run, I hit, so I'm pretty happy about how this run's gone. And one of the last Dr. Fausts of the game, hit Shadow with this. Second to last, really, actually. There we go. So now we want to get 6 stocks of Devil Trigger here. Because when we fight Nightmare, it normally has like 2 or 3 phases, but you can actually get through it in 1 phase by dealing enough damage to him to start out. So we started out by just teleporting forward and then seeing what he was going to do. If he teleported in the other direction, I would have teleported after him. But since he didn't, we're just going to do this, come right after him. And alright, so now he's got pretty much no health left. And we're just going to do this. And he's down. Now, this next fight These next two fights are gonna be against Virgil. The first one is pretty RNG. The second one's not. So I need everybody to bless up in chat because we just gotta hope that Virgil will stand still long enough for us to toss meteors his way with the money gun. So here we go.
I won't lose to the likes of you, little brother.
Come on, Virgil. All right. Thank you, brother. All right. Nice. He was very good. We were able to tank a hit with Devil Trigger there, so that was nice. And boom. All right. So time is going to be coming up after we dunk Virgil here. Nero finds out a couple of missions ago that Virgil's his dad, so he wants to give him a piece of what for. So we're just going to take it. We're going to stick it to him here. Nero's going to be a little bit rude to his father right here. And time. Oop, time, I'm sorry. There we go.
Nice. GG.
Interesting.
And that is Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition.
Oh, brother.
New game
Cut off your own
human.
son's arm for more power, and you still lost.
Can you hear me, Ek?
Enough,
Yep.
damn it.
Oh, hold on. I cannot hear you.
Taking over.
Hold up.
We need to do something before it's too late.
All good, all good.
All right. Hello?
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah, I got my GG. There's a
Excellent.
cutscene ride right now a little bit. You are well underestimated.
Yeah, the thing is like with this this run, I usually give myself a pretty generous estimate because if I don't land those V skips, then it's just minutes of time loss upon minutes.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it's wanted to play it safe, you know, and I just landed it. So cool, that was great. I'm really happy with how that went. Jeez, that was pretty much everything that I could have asked for in a marathon run.
Where are you going?
Once again, I've been DE Cosmic. This is Devil May Cry 5. I really love this game, casually and as a speed run. It's definitely my favorite speed run to do. I love the Devil May Cry series and a lot of other action games. If you want to check out more action game speed runs, you can check me out on Twitch. Same name, DE Cosmic. If you want to run Devil May Cry, there's a whole Discord full of people that are running like pretty much every game in the series right now. Everything's got at least like one runner right now. And there's even like an event going on right now where people are, for the first 3 games, you know, for a week, everybody's grinding out one level that's decided by the event organizer, and it's pretty neat. You should come check it out. We've got a lot of cool stuff going on in the community. So, and it's really cool to see how much it's grown over the years. I think that's pretty much it from me, though. Ek, if you want to take it away.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me, GDQ and Ek. Appreciate it.
Thank you for that run of Devil May Cry 5. Once again, if you did enjoy it, you can find Cosmic at DE Cosmic on Twitch. As well, if you do want to see another fun run at the last HGDQ, we actually ran Van Helsing, which is like this game, if, you know, it was Van Helsing.
That's the game it's the type of game that everybody thinks DMC2 is. That's how I describe it.
But dude, thank you for the run. We do have more runs coming to you. I do have a few announcements before we get to those. One, GDQ's next all-women and femmes speedrunning event, Frost Fatales 2025, will be live from March 9th to the 16th, benefiting the National Women's Law Center. You can visit gamesonquick.com/framefatales for more information on that, or use !FF in Twitch chat. As well, we do have the official GDQ Discord and a Hotfix role, where you can keep tabs on upcoming events, talk with staff, and more. Use !Discord and Twitch chat for more information on that. All right, everyone, welcome back from the break. Hopefully you all enjoyed that run of Devil May Cry 5. It is fun just to see how wild this runs gets. It's always fun to watch a Devil May Cry run if you have not checked them out. I think we actually had Devil May Cry 4 on the show, sometime last year, and it was a pretty good run as well. But we are going to be going back into more demon hunting, and this game is a little bit of a personal favorite of mine. I do have a few things to say about this game. Not only does it fit the whole demon hunting motif, but believe it or not, this was actually the first ever game to show up on Speedruns From the Crypt, and it's been away for quite a while, so I'm very happy to see it once again. That being said, we're going to be diving into Onimusha Warlords, any percent normal, with Dan the Enigma. Take it away.
Thank you, Ekdysis. Hello, everybody. I'm Dan the Enigma. I've been running Onimusha for on and off, actually a couple years. I really only picked this game up seriously a couple months back, and I've been really putting the grind into it because this is actually a childhood favorite of mine. So, that being said, this game actually takes a lot of inspiration from the old Resident Evil games. And you can even see that in the gameplay. You'll see like a bunch of fixed camera angles. You'll see the tank controls come into play. I'm playing the remastered version on Steam. So this game actually has, as a result, this game actually has analog support and tank controls, which I actually do swap between every now and then. So this run's going to be about an hour, like an hour 5 probably. I do have backup saves if needed, because there are quite a few volatile moments in this run that can absolutely kill a run that's on good pace, whether it's whether you're on PB pace or world record pace, whatever. So if we need to, I can just load up a save right before the run killing moment, and we can just go from there. That being said, I'm going to count it down. Sorry. I'm going to count it down, and we can get started. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So right off the bat, we're going to skip a couple cutscenes. Most cutscenes in this game are actually completely unskippable.
This way, sir.
These ones right here, these in-game ones, we can't skip by, which actually is kind of nice because I think for a speedrun, if you've ever been interested in running a game and you wanted something that is like easily digestible with a little bit of downtime, because this game is only like an hour long on world record pace. This game I think is actually a pretty good introduction for it, because it has a little bit of downtime, so if you need to catch your breath or whatever, you can do that. Right here, we got our first fight. We're going to fight these two little ninja demons. I'm going to do 3 3-hit combos. I'm never going to finish any of those combos on them because it will knock them down on the 4th hit, and that's just slower for us.
Princess Yuki!
So 1, 2, 3, spin around, that resets the combo. 1, 2, 3, the 9th hit sets us off on a 3-minute cutscene. So now we actually have time to just chill back and explain what exactly this game is all about. So our main character is Samanosuke Akechi. He is a samurai of the Akechi clan. He was sent a letter by his cousin, Princess Yuki, who we can see here.
Princess Yuki.
She is afraid of something that's going to happen at the castle that she resides in. And her fears are very much well-founded because, as you just saw, we have a couple demons we had to take care of.
It's really you. Oh, I knew that you would come to save me.
So there's quite a bit of in this game that we have to manage in any percent normal difficulty. After this cutscene, we're going to get access to the main mechanic of this game, the Oni Gauntlet, which is going to play a big role because we have to manage how many souls we absorb to upgrade magical weapons we're going to get later in the run. In about 5 minutes, actually, we're going to get our first of those upgrades of those magical weapons. And over the course of the run, we have to manage our souls pretty much perfectly, because if I absorb too many throughout the run, I lose about 10 seconds near the end of the game, for reasons I can get into later. We do also have to do a little bit of farming, but each of the segments they're in there are just massive. You can just get massive chunks of souls to upgrade with and currency with. So it actually doesn't take that much time. It's basically all on the way, on the beaten path, so we don't have to actually go out of our way to do so. So anyway, Samanosuke here tried to pick a fight a little bit out of his weight class and proceeded to just do the job, despite what the booking says. It didn't work for him, brother, but he did what was best for business.
Wake up, Samanosuke.
Club was the size of him. How was he supposed to win that?
I don't know, use backstage influence to tell the bookers. He begrudgingly did the job.
With your current power, you are not capable of destroying demons.
I can't help but make the wrestling references, I'm sorry. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta be a jobber. That way when you get your win back, it's even more hype.
Samanosuke, defeat and seal their souls to your right hand. Destroy all the demons.
So yeah, funny thing is that usually when I do runs of this game, like this cutscene takes exactly 3 minutes and 20 seconds from the time like it starts to when the instruction document pops up telling you how to use that gauntlet. So I'll either just use that time and run a quick little ad on my channel, or I'll literally just get up and use the can. Because like I said, this game has a lot of downtime, despite it being only an hour. So it's like that nice combination of like digestible, like easily digestible, without being a massive commitment to your day if you have to run it. So anyway, I'm gonna mash real quick to get past the documents here. Once the cutscene ends, there we go. We're gonna run past this magic mirror right next to that gate. That is our save point. That is also an enhancement screen for when we get orbs to actually upgrade. We can also upgrade a few other things later in the game, like we can upgrade herbs to medicine, and we can also upgrade our ammunition, arrows that we're gonna get to fire arrows, which do a lot more damage, and we're gonna use it on 2 bosses at the very end of the game. Anyway, spear guy he never learns his lesson. He never let go of his spear. But this room right here, we're gonna walk past those demons that killed that guy. Here in this room, though, we got 4 other demons we do have to take care of. Here's where I'm gonna introduce the Isen mechanic, a very important mechanic. Think of it as a counterattack of sorts. I'm gonna use both types in this game. So this one, right before he gets attacked. Aw, come on. There we go. Get those 2. Oh, you jerk. There we go. You jerk. So if I did this right, I should have 290 souls. Esens are very important because A, they will always give you a little bit more than just taking out the demons normally, and B, they always give you a little bit of health should you need it. And the 2 types of Esens I just did, one was a normal Esen, which is basically a whiff punish. You hit the attack button just as you get attacked, and Seminosuke will sidestep and immediately punish the guy trying to attack him. And the other one, my personal favorite, is the Hajiki Isen, the deflect Isen. Basically, you block the attack, and the frame it hits, well, actually, I don't know if it's a frame or 2 frames. It's a very tight window. Like, within that small window, you'll see like a small flash, and at that point, you can actually get the Isen punish. So anyway, we're gonna walk past this path here. Down this hole, we're just going to follow the path here. It's a very, very straightforward path here. They're just explaining how that was a shortcut to the keep, but then we got a landslide that caused a cave-in, so now we have to take a small detour through this temple. So right here, I'm going to mix in analog stick movement with tank controls. So right now, analog is faster there, because that way you don't have to turn around. Oh, really? And you can also use the analog stick to kind of just like wiggle by. So in the original game, you had to use the D-pad to actually like rotate Seminosuke because it was purely tank controls. Thankfully, because it's the remastered version, Capcom and NeoBards realized, wait, quality of life would be kind of cool with movement here. So right here, we have the first of our trick boxes in the game. These are puzzle boxes. Sets of 4 numbers will be rotated around, and we have a set number of moves to solve the puzzle by getting all the numbers in order. That one was left, right, left. Coming out of the temple, we're going to get the semi-hidden box with a magic jewel inside. That increases our our max capacity for magic, which is the blue meter right underneath Seminosuke's health. And right here, we also have a little seal on the door corresponding to the Thunder Orb we just picked up. That is a level 1 Thunder Door, which means we need level 1 on. Oh, I couldn't get the Isen on that. Sorry, I'm talking way too fast. There's a lot I have to explain in a very short manner. That trick box we just solved gave us the rope ladder, which in typical Capcom fashion, we're going to use it immediately. I told you, the game is very Resident Evil. Like, it was originally supposed to be a Resident Evil game. I believe the original working title was Sengoku Biohazard. Anyway, here we have our first boss. Hey, look, it's Osric. Well, now we have magic, so we're going to go get our win back.
Where is the princess?
Typical 50-50 booking, I swear. It never gets anyone over. But anyway, right as this fight starts, I'm going to get 2 or 3 swipes off, and then I'm going to sidestep to the right because almost everything Osric does is extremely whiff punishable and readable. Or reactable. Like that, right there. I'm going to get my 4 shots in, sidestep. I'm going to use magic here to stun him. We're going to use this time to absorb those souls because I want to end this fight with about 800 souls, 800 or 900. And you can see that red meter underneath. Whoop. So you see what I mean? Pretty much everything he does is reactable. It's actually kind of nice. Even that little animation he just did, you can actually get more punishes on him with that. Come on. There we go. So now that he's actually mad, he's going to swing way faster. But he still gets paralyzed by the Thunder Orb's magic attack, which means he's easy pickings.
How could I die?
And that's our first boss down.
By the hand of a human!
Osric just finally, he laid down for 3. He did, he was actually being nice. He actually put me back over.
As far as
Anyway.
places for a nap can go, you could do a lot worse.
Honestly, true. He actually conveniently opened up a path for me. And also in this room, we are going to be introduced to the best character in the game.
Sweet, beautiful.
I'm going to let him speak for it. It's for us.
What's this? Oh, hello.
He's just so hammy. I love him.
What's that smell? Who's there? A human? How disappointing.
How disappointing.
Face me, demon!
Who do you think you are talking to? I haven't seen one as foolish as you since that, Nobunaga.
So,
Nobunaga?
Guildenstern here, the scientist, he's explaining how Nobunaga basically was brought back from the dead at the Battle of Okihazuma, and now he's going to serve his eternal loyalty to the demons. Not exactly a good thing for us.
Yes, it is indeed true. Now let me show you my most.
Seriously, his voice, I love his voice. His delivery is so good. Like, you ever watch Street Fighter the movie with Raul Julia as M. Bison? And how he basically just chews up the scenery in every scene he's in? Like, that's basically the comparison I'm here for with Guildenstern. Anyway, because we are good boys and girls, we do not interact with this tentacle demon, and we're just going to completely ignore him and just grab our fire orb. Just conveniently in the room for us. Sure was nice of him to just leave that there. Anyway, this is our fire sword. We're going to use this to deal most of the damage in the game. And going back to Osric's room... dang it! I'm gonna get one of those E-Sens on that thing, I swear to God. They can spawn in and you just get a free E-Sen. So this room right here is very important because if I mess up, well, I'm gonna have to go back. Oh, come on, work with me here. Come on, work with me here. Thank you. Okay, that was the part I was worried about. So these are soul suckers. These things have a bad tendency to kill your run. Oh crap! Which one was it? Well, good news, chat. We get to see it again. I have to do this right. This room has killed runs so many times for me. So sadly, I have to fight Osric again, which is only a small time loss, but actually, you know what? I'm just going to show afterwards. So the trick is here, you're supposed to daisy chain all 4 of them together, and the fixed camera angles make that room a bit of a pain in the butt sometimes. So basically what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to end that room by daisy chaining all 4 souls together, because what happens is they actually add more souls that they originally absorb. So say for instance Osric gave 1,000 souls, just as an example. Gives 1,000, 1 soul sucker gets it, now there's more to drop off of that. Kill that one, next one sucks it up, etc., etc. And if you do it right, you usually end up with about 5,000 total souls after that room. It's not quite a gamble room. It's more of like you kind of have to you have to keep a very sharp eye because those fixed camera angles can actually mess with you a lot. So what we're supposed to do after that is use the 5,000 souls we get and use 4,000 to upgrade the Koen to level 2 with 2,000 of those, and then the Shiden to level 2. Those are our orbs, and they A, amplify our magic attack, and B, allow us to progress later in the game. And by the way, hey, we're going to do it again with this room. Except this time they can run. Thankfully, when they're running, though, they actually get E-Send, which means that not only are they dropping more because they're soul thieves, but they also are going to drop more because they got Esend. And I tell you, folks, the amount of runs Of course I do that one flawlessly. Why does this... Oh, the hard one I get first try. Oh my god. Alright. Anyway, going forward in here.
Let me go!
Japanese history buffs might recognize this guy as Nobunaga's pet monkey man. I'm not even like that's not even like a joke or anything. That's literally what this guy's reputation is.
Who are you? And what do you want with that boy?
I should ask you the same thing. You are not working for Saito clan, are you?
This is Tokichiro. He is
Akechi?
a bad man.
Yes, you are. I cannot believe
To put it
you
bluntly.
Here of all places.
He's trying to recruit us, by the
I
way.
am a servant of the Oda clan.
But Samanosuke is not having any of that.
This man will eventually conquer the world under the name Hideyoshi Toyotomi.
He's not wrong, by the way. He's actually the main antagonist of Dawn of Dreams,
Wait. First we must talk business.
which is the 4th game in the Onimusha series. I still have to play the other 3 games. It's like the only one I've played, and it's literally because it's a childhood game of mine. So,
I serve no one. My life is mine and mine alone to command.
I see. However, I will not give up yet.
I will not give up yet.
We shall meet again.
He seems nice. Anyway, this section is actually pretty auto-scroller for the most part because it's just a bunch of cutscenes and we're mostly going down a straight line in here.
Samanosuke, is there something you wanted to ask this young man?
Anyway, this young man, Yumamaru, runs into our lady ninja friend Kaede. So we basically just gonna ask him a couple things. Just gonna ask him a couple questions.
I am Yumamaru.
We're trying to figure out why exactly this little kid is sneaking around a demon-infested castle.
Why should I know?
Fine, then why are you here? Who brought you here?
And Kaede, being really bad at her job, just lets the little kid just shove her and walk on off. Seriously, Kaede's entire character in this game she is bad at being a ninja. But we'll get into that later. Anyway, going down this hallway, those zombies are in the way, so we're just gonna, well, I call them zombies, but like demons, whatever. We just smoke them with the fire magic attack, which is a nice little, very basic straight line, a straight line of demon or of magic fire. I've tried wiggling past them, it just doesn't happen. Anyway, using the level 2 fire, we unlock that door and grab a crest piece, which we will use very shortly. Anyway, you guys got this, I'm sure. Yeah, keep fighting the good fight, boys. Gonna walk past these. Really? Okay, that's rare, but anyway, we're gonna break those boxes, open that box, and get myself some arrows. Climb up the stairs there. Grab these arrows. Open this door. Not box. And we have another cutscene. I swear, I tried saying I did a submission video with this game, and I said, guys, this would be a great time for donations if this was in the marathon.
Princess Yuki found him
But
playing alone and brought him to the castle.
Maybe someday.
And I also heard that Princess Yuki raised him
Anyway,
as if he were her
more
own
plot.
brother.
As it turns out, Yumamaru is basically Yuki's adopted brother.
To save Princess Yuki. Why then?
Pretty cool dude, or pretty cool kid.
Something seems to be going on.
Kid's got cojones. He does not care about demons or monkey men. He's just trying to save his sister. Respect. And the kid can't be more than like what, 6 or 7 or whatever, or like 10 or like he's a little kid. So it's like, what's he gonna do? But he's still trying, and I respect him for it. He ain't doing a very good job, but I respect him for it. Anyway, here we got a puzzle. Pretty straightforward puzzle. One person holds down a switch that keeps the gates open while the other goes through and opens the other gate. We can also open that box, but actually, you know what? Screw it. We'll show it off. This is actually our first upgrade in the armor upgrade if you're doing this casually, the Holy Armor. So those soul suckers, they also act as thieves. They can actually latch onto you and steal your souls directly from your gauntlet. The Holy Armor prevents that. Anyway, that's the puzzle. Coyote just walks through the door and leaves Sam, but he's magically through anyway. Anyway, this room's dark. Let's light it up and refill our magic, and we go into this puzzle that absolutely tripped me up as a kid. So every tile you step on there that has a plus or a cross on it, it'll go down. It'll show the spikes on the floor in the direction of the tiles. So the obvious goal of the puzzle is so Seminosuke or Kaede hits the circle at the other end of the room. The layouts are semi-random, so like if you do memorize every one of them, you can react. But it basically boils down to, can you recognize the layout? Can you get there in as little moves as possible? Now for the puzzle that I'm sure has tripped a lot of people up who've played this game, whether they're a kid or just casually playing as an adult.
Are you all right?
I'm going to breeze by it in about 13 seconds.
Is there a way you can get out of there?
I seem to be trapped. Can you get out of there? What part of trap did you not understand, Kaede?
Samanosuke, wait there. I will help you.
Anyway. Oh. Oh. There we go. Yeah, that puzzle messed me up a lot as a kid. I had to ask my brother to help me get through that, and even he got stumped on it. So I had to basically use game facts. Anyway, we cleared the puzzle, so now we are actually free to explore the rest of the castle once we pull this tab. Also, yeah, there was a timer on the side of that slide puzzle. If that raised all the way up, Samanosuke is just game over. He just drowns. Bro couldn't hold his breath, I guess. It just as soon as the water's filled up.
Fine.
I see the chat also is sharing my my love, quote unquote, of slide puzzles. Anyway, going down this ladder. Oh look, it's the other half of that crest we found earlier. Cool. Alright, so we go back up here, and we're gonna use that crest right here on this door. We're gonna use both pieces. Because we can't just use both of them at once. That'd make too much sense. And in here we got another cutscene.
Yumimaru!
Well, I'll give him points for trying. He made it this far.
Samanosuke, we meet again. So, have you decided to serve the Oda clan?
Move!
Let your intrusive thoughts win, Samanosuke. You can do this. We can just skip a whole game if you just. I'll turn my back. Whatever you do, whatever happens, happens. You just saw a demon kidnap a little kid. I'm sure there's great honor in this.
You are insane! What you are doing will lead to innocent people being used as food for the demons.
The strong will prey upon the weak. Farmers obey samurai, and humans obey demons.
So there's actually an alternate costume I was tempted to use for this run, because I always follow this lineup with farmers obey samurai, humans obey demons, but demons obey pandas, because the alternate outfit for Samanosuke is a giant panda outfit.
The victory of the Oda clan or the Saito clan will be guaranteed.
Oh, he actually took my advice.
See you again,
Cool.
Samanosuke.
Good job, Sam. Alright, so anyway, the next room that's about to come up, I'm going to try and get a Hajiki Isen. If I don't get it, then whatever. Oh, dang it. Oh, hello. Excuse. That blinder was not doing me any favor. Please move. You know what? I'm a little short on souls anyway. I'm taking these. Grab those arrows there. I've never had that happen where, like, the demon was just, like, that ninja demon was just there. Anyway, gonna go in this room and ignore Yumimaru's cries for help. We're gonna pick up 400 souls from here. And right here, we're gonna enhance the Koen orb to level 3, because it's gonna make the ensuing boss fight that's about to happen that much quicker. For those who've played this game, you probably know exactly what boss is about to come out. But I'll let y'all see for yourselves. I gotta say, I love the aesthetic for this fight, by the way. It's like reminiscent of those old samurai movies where they're just on the rooftop and they're about to have their epic showdown. Oh, that's a cool gauntlet. Kind of reminds me of mine. It reminds me a lot of mine. Can I have that orb? No? No? Alright, fine, I'll just take it from you. Whatever. Anyway, we're gonna back up immediately. Unleash fire, because it's gonna hit him twice if you space it right. Like that. So now, I'm gonna hit his shield 3 times because... Whoa, sorry. This fight is actually scary in the run. This fight's actually pretty scary when you're on a good pace. So hitting his shield 3 times will always drop magic, which we actually do take advantage of. Obviously, we can only hit him from the back while that shield's up, so... Or, if we can get a punish on him. Okay, we got the 2 hits on him, so he should be 1 or 2 swings in the back away from death. There we go. Okay. Usually for me, that fight takes about 53, 55 seconds around that, if it's a good fight. If you hit him in the back, you may have saw some red big souls drop from him. He can also drop big blue souls, which makes that fight way faster because it lets you throw another magic off much quicker. I noticed in the chat someone asked, does the camera change when your position changes or is it a different trigger? It is dependent on where Samanosuke is at the or where your character is at the time. So like right there you saw the camera change a couple times. That's just because that's where he was moving to. So anyway, we take the Arashi Wind Orb from him, which is our last of the 3 elemental orbs we're going to get in this game, and we're going to upgrade it straight to level 2. Thankfully, I had 10,000 total after that, so that means that I would have had enough to do the level 3 and level 2 upgrades. If I did not get 10,000 by that point, we can do it a little bit later. We can do it a little bit later on in the run. But that was the room Yamamaru was crying from, and he kind of passed out by the time we got there. So now that he's saved, we're going to bring him back down to the safe room. This is the room right next to where Samanosuke met Tokichiro originally. And it's pretty much the safe room for our heroes throughout the entire game.
You're safe now.
So, yeah. Are about as safe as a demon-infested castle can be.
I give you my
Classic Capcom. It's that there's that Resident Evil bleeding through.
Kaede.
Yup.
You know why Princess Yuki took care of this.
We basically just sent, we also sent Marcellus to the demon realm with that one.
Oh, that's what Zoom looked like here. Got it.
She has had no
Yeah, pretty much. You see the shadow box underneath him detonated, and he fell so fast he fell into the shadow realm. Wait, sorry, this ain't Konami. My bad. I'm getting my companies mixed up here.
Wizard of Odds strikes again.
Samanosuke.
Yeah, you're telling me. Wizard of Odds can't get the simple soul sucker room, but he nails the hard one first try. Anyway, here's a cutscene as Samanosuke talks about the ways of the world. Oh, we just skipped that because that's an FMV.
There are infinite things that we do not understand.
I will say though, Samanosuke kind of spit in here.
Freedom all around us.
Beauty and freedom all around us.
And everyone to see these things and then share them with the people of this country. You must help them to understand the absurdity of fighting over such small portions of land on this tiny island.
He's spitting. It's absurd to fight over such tiny pieces of land. We must all appreciate beauty and freedom, chat.
My name is
Anyway.
I serve Princess Hatsu. Princess Yuki is underground.
Oh, well, that was certainly convenient.
You all right?
That was very convenient, stranger who we've never met before, who I'm sure is totally on our side.
Kaede, we have little time. I have to find Princess
All right.
Yuki. You watch over these two.
So I'm going to swap to the Thunder Sword here real quick, because we're going to open up the last Thunder Lock in the game. We're also going to pick up these arrows because they're literally on the way. Finally! Got one! I was trying to get that 3 times now. Oh, wow. That soldier was actually nice to me. Hooray. I got to walk right by him. Ah, couldn't get this one, huh? All right. Thankfully, a full combo from the Thunder Sword will just take those guys out, so, like, missing the E-Sen on them, whatever. Yeah, the Thunder Sword actually, it's funny, the other 2 orbs get a level 3 lock that's actually plot mandated and, like, actually mandatory to progress. Thunder, nah, just hides a match lock, hides a gun. Optional. Anyway, we could have come here earlier with the Thunder and Fire Sword, but we wouldn't have made much progress. Anyway, welcome to the underground. This place is really, really short. Like this. By the time I enter it, it's literally like a 2-minute section. We're just gonna slice by all these globs. Hey, look, the tentacle demon's back. They're actually a recurring enemy now. Well, I say recurring, but they're only in this section, and like the very last level, or the very last area of the game. Oh, this seems like a very nice room that's not booby trapped at all. Whoop! Oh, nice try. Nice. I swear, this thing. I got clipped by that the other day in PB attempts, and I was a little annoyed. I mean, wouldn't you be a little annoyed if you got hit by a giant swinging blade? Like, just a little miffed, right? Anyway, I'm picking up that herb I just picked up for safety for this run. And this is why we needed the bell. Because without that, we literally would just get tormented by the souls of the danged. That just does not sound right, does it? Like the souls of the damned. Anyway. Hey, look at that. It's real glass. And they bust out of it. Cry me a river. Anyway, I'm just gonna walk by them because they don't actually exist until they've actually like fully spawned in. So you can just walk right through them. Open up this level 2 door and hey, look, we got another trick box. Middle, left, right. This gets us the green key, or sorry, the blue key, which we're going to use in about 5 seconds. As soon as I leave this door. Oh look, another long arms. Bye-bye. And we're done with the underground. Got a pretty long cutscene here, so we can actually just chill a little bit.
For the last time, no!
Samanosuke, really sick of being solicited upon. He doesn't want to be in the clan, my guy. Take no for an answer.
Demons, prepare for the dark ceremony!
All this for some demon insurance. I don't know.
I know, right? Like, you know, you would think, you know, you'd think that with Nobunaga Oda, literally known as the demon, right? Like that's his moniker. He was known as the demon. Like you would think they would get some sort of insurance against the demon realm. I don't know.
I am sure by now.
So, really quick, fun thing about the Oda Nobunaga, he gave himself the nickname the Demon King.
That's what it was. Thank you.
I think it was like the unkillable Demon King, and I mean, anyone who challenged the nickname, he just killed them. So,
What are you doing?
I think it's one of those.
I mean, who's going to dispute it?
He gave himself the name. So, do you believe him?
I mean, who's going to dispute it if they can't kill him?
Someone not scared.
Anyway, a clone of us comes along, and Kaede seems to think that we're not wearing the gaudy armor anymore. That's clearly just a fashion choice. And it's not at all a red flag until she gets punched right in the stomach. I really wish my stream deck could play audio through this right now, because I usually, like, y'all know that Moist Critical, woo! I play that as he fades into that little hole. Anyway, our protagonist is indisposed at the moment. So now we're going to be playing as Kaede, who probably has the worst trick in any speedrun I've ever done. I will get to it in a little bit. It has killed so many of my world record attempts, and somehow I could still sub-hour without it. I don't know if I should be upset or not, but anyway.
Are you alright? What happened?
Meet Dying Guy, chat. He's a legend around here.
Monsters.
He literally exists to survive just long enough to give Kaede an actual direction to go in. 07 Dying Guy. He gives us a key, too. Anyway, we're just going to walk by these guys. So Kaede is obviously not a very good fighter. She's a ninja. She's supposed to be an assassin. It's like not really good at hand-to-hand, like basic hand-to-hand stuff like a samurai would, or at least compared to a samurai. So we're just going to walk by most of our enemies. And one's going to be blocking the door momentarily. I'm going to flip right over him by lock on, double tap forward, and attack, and bye-bye. Just going to walk by these guys, going to weave by them, and you can sneak by him if you're like quick enough, but it's fine. Anyway, this room, most of the other soldiers we did not save. This one you have to. because he's going to drop a very important item for the final boss fight. By the way, those archers literally have the lowest HP of anything in the game. Like Samanosuke's normal sword will kill those in one hit. Kaede's knife can't even do it. Her knife is just that. Like, the only thing that knife is good for is cutting butter, I swear. Anyway, this is a puzzle box. Will always ask you like a riddle, and you have to like decipher and translate with different documents that you'll see throughout the game that we don't actually pick up, mainly because those ones are always the same. The answers are always the same there. So as long as you memorize the options that you have to select, then you can just open up and take the goodies. That gets us a magic jewel that Kaede cannot use because, well, she's a ninja. She doesn't have magic powers. So
she didn't get the fancy glove. Yeah,
exactly. All she has is that stupid little butter knife. She does have a cool little lockpick kit that lets her go into into areas that are exclusive to her. Okay, so that room we passed, that's gonna be very important in a moment because I need to actually need a time. I need to like count a time as I get into the room because it's gonna make a cycle very important for me to actually like. It's gonna make that room very quick as long as I can actually concentrate and count. Thankfully, I do actually have a timer in front of me I can use for this. So anyway, in there we get the silver plate. And we're going to leave this room real quick. That room messes with me a lot when I'm doing analog controls, so. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pull on 7.5. And then I'm going to dash forward with lock on and double tap. Past the fire. Going to damage boost past that. Grab this gold plate. Going to leave the... That's why I needed that. I needed that timer to be. I'm just gonna wait on that one a little bit. Anyway, we got the gold plate now. So now we're gonna go use them. We're gonna go all the way back to that room where I got that gear. Which, by the way, y'all may have noticed, I used the gear before opening up that cabinet. The game is actually kind of nice in that regard. You don't actually have to open the cabinet first and then go to the menu. You can just use the cabinet or use the gear, and Kaede will do the rest. She'll actually put 2 and 2 together. Anyway, back in here. Gonna use the silver plate here. Strafe to the right, to the left here. Use the gold plate. And this opens up a building to what I can only assume belongs to a Talking Heads fan because it's burning down. Burning down the house. Anyway, another trick box here. Middle, left, left, right, right. Opens up and gives us Kaede's only weapon upgrade in the entire game, the Sacred Knife. This is actually mandatory, which I will show why in just one moment. Ooh, that usually doesn't happen. So you see these globs here? I tell you, it's a friggin' butter knife, man. It doesn't do anything. So anyway, Kaede 1 is almost done. She goes to the jail cell where Princess Yuki is, and we're going to run into the worst trick in this entire run. So, Kaede is about to have a mini-boss fight, and the only one she has in her entire gameplay, between both her sections in this game. And this fight can either take 10 seconds, or it'll take 40, depending on how good you can nail this very precise trick. So you saw that flip I did a couple times earlier? I have to do that to this boss. Problem is, I have to be locked onto the boss to do it, A. B, he needs to do a certain attack that gives me the opening and enough time to do the flip, B. And C, I have to have it in such a precise spot that Kaede will actually do the trick and get the instant kill instead of actually like just doing a swipe or whatever. Oh, and sometimes the flip won't even go off, even if I do the input correctly. I tried practicing this before the run, didn't get it. I practiced for 45 minutes on my stream the other day, got it once. Tried to do this, or I even said, oh, I'm not going to get this trick because I was on a run that was like 21 down and I managed to bring it back to even by the time I got here. Got it. I nailed it. Just casually. So apparently the answer is self-doubt. Which means I'm not going to get it right now, right? I got a big old audience here and I'm not going to hit it.
Princess Yuki! Princess Yuki!
I got hopeful. Wait. Oh, so that flip right there. If she landed behind him and in the right spot, I would have been able to get the Isen. But sadly, no such luck. So at that point, if I don't get it within like 2 flips, I just go for a normal fight. So that's what I mean by like, I think my best result doing it the normal way after messing up the Isen is like I lose 26 seconds or give or take, like around that. Also, yeah, like I said before, Kaede's entire thing is all about her failing. She's the Venture Brothers of Onimusha. Her entire thing is all about failure. Fails to pick a lock. Fails to save Princess Yuki. Fails to get an Isen. Fails to let a little kid be asked questions. Seriously, she let a little kid just push her and go to the side. Anyway. So anyway, we're back to Samanosuke now that he's regained consciousness. And remember that doppelganger that just laid out Kaede in one shot to the stomach? Well, in typical fighting game arcade mode fashion, now we're going to fight our rival. Because it's time for a mirror match. And remember how I said Osric was all about whiff punishes earlier? This is basically that, but way more precise. Because he'll be blocking everything if you're not attacking, except for a very small instance at the start of the fight that I'm going to take full advantage of. So I'm going to turn slightly to the left with the tank controls and unleash a level 3 fire on him immediately. So as he tries to attack... Wow, you are being really nice, Stylato. What the heck? What the... Are you serious? Come on, I can't get this on a PB pace. Oh my god. So anyway, like I said, that's supposed to be way harder. That is supposed to be a way more precise fight. Thankfully, I got stupid lucky and he used his magic attack, which is his most punishable attack, 4 times in a row. It takes exactly 5 magic spells to kill him, 1 fire at level 3 at the start of the fight, which is way harder to hit aside from that tiny little moment there. And then 2 wins followed by 2 thunders. So anyway, we're going to use that magic... Oh, what was that?
I was going to say the immortal phrase, we take those.
We absolutely take that. Hey, look, if he wants to try and spam an option, I'm going to spam a punish to that option, okay? Anyway, left, right, gets us the bow in that chest. We also just used the magic jewel and that wooden ladder we just picked up. And hey, remember that weird door we passed up earlier? With Yumamaru's introduction? Or with Kaede? Well, hey, here's the thing for it. Just conspicuously with a ladder at the bottom of a well. Yeah, just Capcom keys, man. What can I say? Also, the cutscene we just skipped in that room was that lady that, oh no, she betrayed us. She was transforming into a demon, into like this giant, big old hornet lady demon thing. And that cutscene's actually kind of gross, and we don't want to look at that. Thankfully, it's FMV, so we get to skip that.
Let's separate and find a way.
Also, yeah, hey, we got to enter to the demon realm now. Also, oh hey, we have a barrier we need to break down to get into said demon realm. So anyway, now that we're back with Samanosuke in the main keep, we're going to go back to the main area that Kaede took her first section of gameplay in. So we're going to go to the west side of the prison, because you may have noticed there was a room back there near where we got those 2 plates that had a level 3 firelock behind it. By the way, I would actually consider this like the start of endgame, essentially like mid-late game. Oh hey, another soldier fighting the good fight. You got this, buddy. I believe in you. 4v1 doesn't seem fair for them. You got this, bud. I don't remember if we ever changed, or if the ruling was ever changed on 100% to save that guy, or to save all the soldiers or not. But, oh hey, bunch of archers up there. Well, that's cute. I'm just gonna walk by him. You guys can't hit point blank? That's lame. Y'all need better aim. Like stormtrooper aim over here. With all the durability of a red shirt. The perfect henchman. Extremely disposable. Anyway, speaking of walking by enemies, we're just going to walk by in this room. And as tempting as it is to recreate a Looney Tunes bit with that cart, we're not going to do that just yet. Because we got a mini-boss fight here. We got three axe demons, what we saw earlier, and that big boy that's like the leader of it. So anyway, going to lock on all 3 of those, hit a fire, lock onto this other guy, hit another fire, get right up in there, use wind, take all 3 of them out. I said take all 3 of them out. Thank you. Then we're gonna level 2 thunder. This guy's never gonna touch me. Like, he's not dead yet. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I usually get a magic drop from one of those guys. That's new to me. Anyway, we did all that just to pick up that decorated sword. And back here in this room, now we're gonna unleash that cart because that'll... Now I get the magic, of course. We're just gonna leave those souls alone. That's not a lot. And we have a magic refill in this room anyway. So now that we have 4 bars of souls again, we're gonna upgrade the Arashi, the wind orb, to level 3. This will open up the last of the doors that we need to do for the main plot. And it also gives the Arashi a really, really good magic boost on top of that. Those 40 arrows, we're gonna upgrade those shortly. Not quite yet though. Gonna top off on our magic. And now we're just gonna go all the way back. So you remember where the second Soul Sucker room was? The one with the Axe Demon and the 3 that I E-send? Well, second verse, same as the first. We're gonna get another 4... what am I at? A little under 300, or like about 370 right now? Yeah, about 3,700 souls. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do basically literally like the same thing. We're gonna E-send the demon, then we're gonna E-send the sucker that tries to steal him as he tries to run. And then we're going to E-send the next one. This time, though, it's way easier because we actually have an overhead magic spell that isn't, like, entirely RNG to hit. I swear, the input is, like, actually stupid to hit. See what I mean? Like that. Anyway. Ooh. Uh-oh. Come on. So, if you're within a couple hundred souls, like I believe 1,000 is actually the magic number you want to be at for getting your last soul upgrade. You can actually go off of 3 bars because in the East Garden, the area we're about to go into, there's a gauntlet. By the way, this is what we needed the decorated sword for. Just Capcom keys, everybody. What can I tell you? There's this gauntlet, very similar to the one we absorbed just before we fought Marcellus, that is going to give us 1,000 souls. So, we're gonna actually just gonna top off with that. Also, I'm gonna do, this is just for safety. This drawbridge right here, we just snap a fire on that. We're going to chop that down because that's going to give us a talisman. That is a one-time revival from death at full health. And I admittedly have had some struggles with the final boss in Hecuba on PB pace. So, just for the sake of the marathon and the sake of... just for the sake of time and to make it look like I'm actually good at this video game, I'm going to hopefully not need it, but we're going to grab it so we don't have to sit through the cutscenes before that boss again, or whichever boss would take me out. By the way, you can E-send that dude with Samanosuke. It's actually pretty funny. All right, so anyway, see this bridge here? Just gonna walk on by. You can actually lure this demon onto that bridge, and you can actually just chop that thing down. So anyway, using those 4,000 souls we got, gonna pump all that into fire arrows. So I mentioned, by the way, 3 and 6. I said 3 and 6. I did 3 and 5. Gives us our last magic jewel. So remember how I said if I got too many souls at some point, then it would... Don't use that, Dan. We need that. So if you get 20,000 souls total throughout your entire run, the next time you go onto the magic mirror upgrade, the gauntlet will actually upgrade to level 2, which means you have to sit through an unskippable 10-second cutscene, which, if you're on PB pace, obviously would kill your run, but thankfully, world record in PB, or in my PB, you only need 17,000, so that would actually, that's well underneath what you would get, so you never really have the risk of hitting that. Anyway, that document we picked up earlier, just before we entered the level 2 and level 3 wind locks, with that tower and those 2 big blue demons, that told us how we got to unlock the barrier to the demon world. And right there, we picked up the Great Bow, which is one of the 2 pieces ready to break the barrier. Now, for Kaede's section, she is going to try and get the other arrow, sorry, the other piece, the Great Arrow. So anyway, these things are annoying and they're in the way. It takes too long to kill them, so I'm just gonna flip over them. I ain't gonna fight that. And here we're gonna see a couple more, so I'm just gonna wave dash ahead of them. I'm a melee player, so we're gonna wave dash.
Hit the bricks.
Look, I did not pay $60 to just spam attack, okay? Sometimes discretion's the better part of valor. I did, in fact, pay 60 to block. By the way, the reason I did that pathing right there, if I got too close to the bridge, which, by the way, just gonna... Ah, you jerk. I was trying to Looney Tunes him. He would just fall down the bridge and he would just go bye-bye. So anyway, we're just gonna weave by these guys. Just sneak on in here. Just weave by these dudes. So this next room's gonna have an archer that's gonna try and take a pot shot off of me. So we go forward and slightly left. He can't ever shoot us. Going up here, we have the final trick box in the game. Oh, sorry, I'm opening my nose because I actually do not remember this one. I have it on my splits. I kind of cheat with this one. Ah, jeez, where is it? It's like left. Sorry. I have it on my splits. I'm so used to having those up. Sorry. Where is it? Where is it? There we go. Left, middle, right, middle. That's the trick, chat. We just keep it on our splits so we actually know the combination so we don't actually have to take the time. Because I don't have my splits open for this. So that gives us the decorated arrow. This room right here is where we get the great arrow. And we're about to pull an Indiana Jones. Just gonna slowly... We're gonna replace it with an equal arrow. Because lifting the arrow locks us in. It also opens up that box. I'm assuming that decorated arrow is just way heavier, so it like is a weight-sensitive lock or something. I don't know. Anyway, same thing here. We're gonna just go forward and left, just slightly to the left, back and to the left, if you will. Just avoid the archer. He'll never get a pot shot off of me. So this section's way easier than Kaede's first section. As you saw, like there was like no difficulty there. The real trick with Kaede, like the real difficulty with Kaede is literally that Isen on the mini boss. Because I actually have saves of this section where Kaede literally is on magic pixel health, just so I can practice getting through here without taking damage. Anyway, that's Kaede's section done for the rest of the game. Hooray!
What?
So anyway, that lady that kidnapped Yumamoru, yeah, here she comes. And Kaede is hatching up a very stupid idea. Kaede, please don't. Please don't. So, the reason why we got those 40 arrows is for this boss fight right here. That's about to happen. But she needs to make her grand intro first. Samanosuke, I knew you would come.
But you are late. Our dark ceremony is starting.
She's very angry. Or she's about to make Samanosuke very angry.
No!
Princess Yuki
No!
cherishes Yumamoru. If he is sacrificed in front of her, her sorrow will peak, making her blood.
So Princess Yuki is going to be Yumamoru is going to be sacrificed in front of Princess Yuki to make her very sad. So that means her angst will give Oda Nobunaga even more power.
Now my
which Samanosuke understandably is not having a single bit of. So anyway, starting the fight, level 3 wind. We're gonna bring her down to the ground, and we're gonna combo into a thunder with it. Oh my god, she actually dropped magic for me. Hooray! So anyway, this fight is a giant pain for... Are you serious? Again, she can't ever drop magic when I'm on PB pace. That'd be too easy. Oh, please, come on. Please. Oh, okay, we're good. By the way, something I noticed a couple days ago. That's straight up a command grab. That thunder magic, that's just straight up a command grab, and I never put it together until now. That's 4 arrows, 5 fired, 4 hit. I need to hit her with 9 more, because if you do 3 cycles of magic like that, it takes 13 fire arrows to kill her. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, dead. Okay, cool. I'm also just gonna quickly, there we go. Yeah, this fight kills a lot of PBs because you only do 30 arrows, like I said, on world record pace. And you still need your arrows for the next boss fight. So you basically want to save as many shots as you can. But sometimes her little ankle biter buds, and Kaede really lit gunpowder and explosives in the room we were still in. I just want to interrupt my own dialogue just to say that. What? Kaede, what? What are you doing? It worked out, but like, come on now. Couldn't wait for me to get clear. So anyway, those blue soul drops are actually completely RNG if she does or not. You only need one tiny little blue soul to get that 3rd cycle of magic going. But, oh my god, so many runs have died because she just did not want to drop it.
Hang on, Kaede.
So anyway, Kaede's been knocked out by her own explosion, the product of her own hubris. I don't know. So Samanosuke is going to be taking the reins from here on out. He's going to finish the story. Adrenaline in his soul. Something Samanosuke roads.
Just here for a while.
I just really hope he doesn't get like a weird neck tattoo. The last runner didn't know wrestling references. I am a utter abundance of them. Like, completely different scale here. Like, completely different on the sliding scale of wrestling knowledge. Ugh.
Now.
You know what, chat? You're right. It's only a bad plan if it fails. But it is definitely a stupid plan. It was definitely stupid. I think we can all agree there, right? Reaver, back me up.
If it's stupid and it works, then it ain't stupid. We've been through this.
Look, I don't care if like she knows only how to throw dynamite and she calls that a martial arts. Okay? Anyway, epic music is there for 5 whole seconds as we just go into this room and just fire the great arrow. In a shot so epic, we need 3 whole camera cuts to show it. By the way, you'll never unsee this, chat, now that I point out, that gauntlet blinks at you. You're welcome. You ever see like those cheesy action movies or like cartoons how sometimes they'll show like that triple cut and you'll hear like a goofy sound effect that comes from the attack, like shia, shia, shia. It's like the same thing from 3 different shots. Could you imagine if Sam just missed that arrow and it just fell into the chasm between the demon gate and the floor? That would be a little awkward, wouldn't it? You just got to win a QT, like a quick time event, a QTE, just to get the good ending. Hi, best buddy, Guildenstern.
You pathetic human. Wow.
Aw, he pulled a racism.
Impressive.
He's very bigoted against humans. That's messed up.
Since your journey ends here, only demons can enter.
You
This guy's a jerk. I liked his science, but he didn't have to, like...
I have no time for you.
What did you say?
Anyway. Hey, remember how I said I sent Marcellus to the Demon Realm earlier? I wasn't joking. We're in the Demon Realm. He should be coming in right about now. Ooh, he's got a cool red coat of paint now. Alright, so anyway, second verse, same as the first for this fight. At least for the first phase of it. We're going to back up. As he attacks, get 2 level 3 fires off on him. Do it again. Now his shield breaks. Now we're going to swap to the arrows. And we're going to time each shot off. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 18 is our magic number because he'll stop staggering. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Actually, I think it's... Oh. Okay, there we go. By the way, you can E-send him when he's doing that. By the way, I think he's dead now. I usually never have 17 arrows by this point in my run, so that's why I'm like, I think he's dead, right? So if you need the health, this would be a good point to refill on it. Otherwise, you could just go on, because in this next room is our final save point in the game, and a magic refill. So that's convenient. Anyway, next up is the final boss. All we got to do is just run down this little spiral, past all the tentacle demons. Ronaldo, bite the belly of the... Hey, where you going? Why are you ignoring Ronaldo? Yeah, it's just a whole room of Ronaldos, and whatever the heck that is on the wall. Game's got some fun imagery, doesn't it, chat? So, fun fact, remember how I said you sent a boss earlier? That was the one. Oh yeah, and him too. There's 2 medicines right here as a full heal. I was hoping I would get that one. Little penance for not letting Kayeta get it earlier. Anyway, final boss time. I'm just going to pull up my notes for the cycle on this because there's a very precise cycle. And there's also a reason why we got that soul absorber earlier. Oh yeah, another FMV cutscene we just skip. And this is Fortinbras, the Demon King. Wasn't that meant for Yumamoru? So that way he would be tortured, so she would be sad. I think he lost the plot somewhere. Or he just woke up and he's getting a little... He just needed to get the kinks out of the system. He needed to wake up a bit. Alright, so starting off, I'm going to swap to the Thunder Sword. This boss is very unique because he has 2 levels... Like, you can hit him in the body all you want. He won't actually take damage. You have to knock his head down. I'm also going to time it, so that way I get the 3rd hit on this broadsword to hit him in the head for actual damage. Alright. Also, cool thing about wind, it has iframes. Now I need him to drop another magic soul. Thank you! Alright. So the cool thing about the Enryu is it's so slow that I can actually get away with that. So full combo here. Uh-oh. Okay, sorry. This part is always finicky when it comes to this fight because I'm starting to run a little low on magic. Oh, and that's why we picked up the talisman. I was trying to block and pause, but whoopsies. He scrubbed me out. Really? He's just not getting knocked over, huh? There we go. So right here, I'm going to do 2 hits with Thunder into a Thunder Magic. Then I'm going to do a full Thunder Attack combo into another Thunder Magic. I'm going to Soul Absorber immediately, because this is why we picked it up, because it's going to give us a full refill. Uh-oh. No! Well, that's lame. That is extremely unfortunate, because now I have to... Oh, this is unfortunate, because now I basically have to... I'm basically got to free ball this a little bit. I got to freestyle this. I think I'm still good, though. I think I'm still on pace here. Those magic drops helped me a lot, though, I gotta say. Again, I usually don't get these on pace, which is annoying. By the way, that command grab makes me completely invincible, which is cool. By the way, if time is coming up on last hit, time.
GG.
One more for the books.
All right, so that was Onimusha Warlords. If anyone was interested in running this game, I do highly recommend it, because again, this is like, it's like an hour, like a little over an hour. So, like, again, it's easily digestible. I feel like you don't have to do a major time commitment of your day to do runs of this. There's a bit of downtime if you need to get up and use the bathroom during some of the longer cutscenes. Like, that is actually doable. I've done it quite a bit. And, like, you could just, like, there's a lot to enjoy about this run. So if you do actually PB and you want to submit your run to the leaderboard, you do have to skip all these cutscenes. And you do have to show the results screen right here, because it'll show your in-game time, how much you've absorbed, enemies defeated, all that, yada yada. And yeah, that's Onimusha 1. There is an Onimusha Discord, Onimusha Speedrunning Discord. If you guys want to join that, there's a lot of great runners in there that would be glad to give you any advice you guys might need. It covers the entire series from Onimusha Warlords all the way up to Dawn of Dreams. But yeah, that's Onimusha Warlords. This game is I love this game. This was one of my games I played when I was a kid. So like, I'm glad to run it now, and I'm glad to actually have gotten a pretty good time on the leaderboard. I'm actually 4th on the leaderboards right now. I'm the I guess I'd be the fastest guy who has yet to get a sub 1 in any percent, which is has driven me up a little bit of a wall, as you might imagine. So anyway, I've been Dan the Enigma. Sorry if Reverb for not really letting you get that much in. I had a lot to explain in this run.
Look, if you got to be the yapper, you got to be the yapper. What matters is we got through it. And you got through it on an hour on the dot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think, what was hang on, sorry, I'm looking at my phone for this. 104.22. That's actually not bad. Yeah, I thought it was going to be around, like, I think I put my estimate originally at like 108, 109, somewhere in that ballpark. Because I knew I was going to screw up a couple times in this run. Which is why I picked up that talisman, and thank God I did. But yeah, if you guys want to see me run this game more, I'm over at twitch.tv/DanTheEnigma, DanTheEnigma. I usually try and stream 4 days a week. I speedrun other things, like I used to speedrun Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, which, that's another test of patience, but that's for another time, if you guys actually want to check that out on my end. Reverb, thank you so much for actually chilling with me on this one, dude.
Absolutely, every time, mate.
I actually did promise him if I ever did get on GDQ, like either on Hotfix or in the marathon proper, I'd get him on couch. So anyway, Ecdysis, back to you, bud.
All right. Well, thank you for the run. Thank you all for being here. It was fun to go see Onimusha and, all the demons that it comes with. Once again, if you did like the run, feel free to check out Dan the Enigma. I believe the link is in Twitch chat. We do have one more one for you tonight. Before we get to that, though, I do just want to say, if you want to keep up with the GDQ Hotfix schedule for Season 4, you can go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix to check out our Season 4 schedule and check out the schedule for an in-depth look at this week's runs. As well, thank you for any subs, Prime Gaming. All right, everyone. Welcome back from the break. Hope you all enjoyed that run of Onimusha Warlords. It's been a lot of fun doing various demon hunting. I thought I'd pick a bit of an odder game to wrap it up for the night. It fits kind of well. We got some of those dream demons, and it's a game that you may not have seen in a while, or maybe you haven't seen it. It was a neat indie horror game from about a couple of years ago, and if you like that RE1 vibe, you're probably gonna like this one. Anyway, up next is Nightmare of Decay, 80% normal with Juhorse. Take it away.
Hi, my name is Juhorse. You have seen me like way too many times on X Speedruns from the Crypt show. Today I'm going to be showcasing Nightmare of Decay. This game came out in 2022, and if you have seen this game before, it was actually showcased in a GDQ 2023 by Nitsmelt, and I commentated on this game. This time I'm going to be running this game 2 years, like exactly 2 years after it was showcased on AGDQ 2023. With me, I have Amai. Say hi.
Hey everyone, I'm Amai Fox. I also run this game, and yeah, this is an amazing game. Super glad to be here, and y'all should definitely buy this after watching the speedrun.
Yeah, so we're gonna start right ahead. Amai's gonna mostly take a lot of the commentary, but I'll be focusing a lot of the game. So time starts in 3, 2, 1, go. You can start off whenever with commentary.
No. So Nightmare of Decay has some retro graphics, but calls back to a lot of OG survival horror games like Resident Evil 1, Silent Hill. You're definitely going to see a few references here and there. But how the game starts off is there's been some types of grisly murders and people aren't waking up from their dreams. So your character falls asleep, all of a sudden wakes up in front of this crazy mansion. We have a cute little kitty cat that is going to be our best friend Shirley throughout this run.
Sure.
Yeah. Now right here is a great Resident Evil reference that we don't get to see because we skipped the cutscene.
Already had to use the gun. Did not mean to do that.
So some of the item pickups can be really tough in this game, especially like those keys that are just super small and you have to be really precise. So unfortunately that can happen.
Wow, what a mention. Am I right?
Wow, what a mansion.
Yeah. So I'm already on caution, which is a really bad thing for me. Most of the time I had to be on fine, so there's that. Yeah, this is like a kind of like a Resident Evil inspired game where like if you get damaged, you would go slow in the game anyway. So I'm gonna be going onto this door real quick and then just going out right here. It kind of resets the enemies spawning. So there's that. All right.
Yeah, there is a bit of a YOLO line you can take if you don't reset the room, but I don't want to do that during something like this since there's a good chance you get grabbed and then you're dead.
Alright, so I'm going to be picking up the shotgun right here. Shotgun is mostly not going to be not used for like PB runs, but because this is a hotfix run or showcase, I'll be just picking it up right away. But also, as you can tell, I'm strafing a lot in this place. Strafing is a lot faster than just holding W, which is a weird thing. So, okay, let me actually just do this real quick. There's item management as well, which with this game, so I can actually bind my keys to whatever the slots are as well. So, hey, here's the cat again.
Yay. One thing you also notice is normally you can run around in rooms freely if there are no enemies, but once enemies are in the room, you do have a stamina bar. So at times you do have to manage that stamina appropriately, and this is actually a good example of the room where we just walk normally up to the zombies and save all of our stamina to run out.
Oh wait, I'm going the wrong room already. Wow, I'm tired at like 1 p.m. of course.
I was like, wait a second,
this seems wrong, but yeah. We're gonna go back to the kitchen. If you see me like use a bloody sack, I use the bloody sack for a dumbwaiter. Get this key because we need this pantry key for this pantry room. Also, by the way, me doing like that to the zombie doesn't really incur any damage, or just does any damage at all, which is a very good thing, because if I actually like get grabbed and get damage, it's a really bad thing for my health. But luckily enough, you don't really get damage when you get grabbed at all. It's only when you get bitten by the zombies and such. All right, coin puzzle, very reminiscent to the Silent Hill 2 kind of stuff. A lot of like the game has like a lot of these horror tropes like Silent Hill, Resident Evil. You will see a bunch of other stuff later on in the game.
Great thing is with the puzzles, at least for someone like me, there is no RNG, so it's always the same.
Yep. We're coming up to like a clock puzzle right here, and we can show how RNG, so-called not RNG, the clock puzzle is.
Oh yeah. But yeah, just another example there, like having to keep those good lines in rooms, because just, you know, zombies will grab you and stop you in your tracks. And there's the clock puzzle, just flying through that.
Yeah. The puzzle is just pressing like W and D together, or like simultaneously, and then you can actually go to the correct sequence, which is 810. So yeah. All right, climbing up into the other room because it's locked from the other side. So there's that. Oh no, zombies. All right, this is something I need to do. It's dodging, but I did not dodge correctly. So there's that. Oh, it's very hard to dodge even. So there's that. All right, I'm gonna be on like low health for now.
Unfortunately, like you mentioned, it is a slight movement decrease when you're on caution, or even worse, on danger. But there's a lot of supplies littered throughout the game, thankfully, so should be fine.
Yeah, I should be fine. Bring out the shotgun once again. So these enemies are like references to Resident Evil 4, but we're not gonna be caring about them for now until like later into the game. So there's that. All right, safety.
Get the safety drinks.
I need the safety drinks a lot of the time. So, all right, here comes a little trick right here. You reload while you're on the toilet seat, and then you can just like get the stuff and get out. Basically, you can just like reload whenever you want to, but whenever you reload the game, reload the shotgun, or reload any kind of guns, you actually slow down like a lot. So making sure that you actually reload at some areas of the game is very ideal. Ow, ow, ow! That's really painful. That part is like super RNG as well. So well, I'm actually using way too much of my my health drink so far. So I'm really hoping that I can actually go through this game, like, how you say, smoothly along the way. We had to make acid right now, so the whole time I've been taking all these jars, and we're going to be making acid pretty soon for a skin thing, whatever it is. It's just something like Amnesia. If you ever play Amnesia and you need like jar of acid to just take the skin off.
With like a fleshy growth.
Yeah, it's a flesh wall. Yeah, there we go.
Unfortunately, the cultists in this only look like, you know, RE4 cultists. They have guns instead of like scythes, so they can be a huge pain when you encounter them.
All right, should be this way right now. We're gonna meet someone who also gives us another crucial item in the game, which is a magnum. The magnum is actually used for most of the bosses, and we're gonna be coming up to like the boss area pretty soon. Oh yeah, rip to this guy. Basically, he could not live in this place anymore. Yeah, we're in a nightmare. He's trapped in a nightmare. He has been trying to escape for a while. Could not do that. Bye bye, I guess. Yeah. All right, we're gonna go out to the courtyard. So there's that.
And now we get our Resident Evil dogs, which they're usually pretty calm in this speedrun for the most part, thankfully.
Alright. There you go.
And there's another friend we had, but he instantly died, so...
Oh yeah, he was like drinking. drinking alcohol. Just like my hosts.
Yeah, so here's another really rough part because of the cultists.
It's actually really rough. There we go.
Hey, you know what? That wasn't that bad. That was what, like 2 hits, I think?
About 2-3 hits. Yeah, like most of the cultists are very RNG dependent, where if they shoot you and they don't damage you, and it's a very good RNG, but like sometimes when they keep shooting you constantly, it's really bad RNG and such. But yeah, we're up to this room, this like Resident Evil 1 inspired room. It's like whole puzzle room and such. There we go.
Here we got statues, we got cranks.
There we go, cool. Alright, we got this crown, and this crown is going to be used pretty soon for a boss fight. But not just a boss fight, but like 3 bosses. And I have to try to kill them as much as possible. Most of the time I'm going to be like bringing out the Magnum so that I can actually shoot them. But hopefully I can actually clear them in one smooth go. This part is really it really sucks sometimes if you ever miss like some of the bullets or even have very bad RNG, so there's that. Anyways, here comes the boss fight. There we go.
Yeah, this boss fight has a huge difficulty spike in the game out of nowhere. Where there was only 1 boss previously that was technically optional, and now all of a sudden it's 3 bosses at once. And yeah, if you don't know all about how the Magnum can pierce through multiple enemies like this, a first playthrough this fight is really bad, but Joe got through that pretty nicely.
That was actually really good. Alright, let me grab this real quick, and then we can actually go into the dungeon area of the game, because there's a dungeon area in this. Yeah, cool. So basically, like, housing this, like, whole like this mansion is kind of just a king or whatever whatever it is, some demon king that you know, that just brings people into this kind of nightmarish mansion. So we are trying to kill it as quickly as possible so that he could stop his like reign of terror and such. This part I really had to shoot all the zombies, and the reason for that is because if you were to shoot all the zombies in this, in this sewers, you get unlimited stamina, which is a good thing. All right, let me just heal up real quick, and then reload my gun. All right. Oh no, I used the first aid kit by accident. Whatever. Hopefully we can actually go through this. Yeah. With minimal kind of errors, but yeah. Sometimes you misclick and it happens. I do have save states as well, which is a good thing as well that this game has a lot of save states. But also there's a thing where like if you were to die in this game, you have to restart all the way from the beginning of the game. So cross my fingers I don't really do that, but yeah, let's go through this game, I guess. Also,
no auto saves.
Yeah, there's no auto saves in this game. Yes. Also, I don't know why Egg put my estimate at 20 minutes. I am not as fast as Nitsmelt. How dare you, Egg? Explain yourself right now. He's not explaining himself. He's quiet. I can't believe this.
That's the explanation.
Right. That's the explanation, of course. All right.
We'll bump it up to 25 minutes. We can have it. You know what? We'll do a magic trick.
Magic trick 25. All right. Here goes another boss right here. If I actually get hit by him by the chainsaw, that's it. I'm done. But we're done.
Another RE4 reference. Unfortunately,
that's an RE4?
One hit kill. Yeah, the chainsaw Ganados.
Oh yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, yeah, that's it. We're done. We get a key, and then we are just gonna get out of here. I think it's the bloody whatever key it is. Bloody cabinet key.
Yes.
Yeah.
A key to get something that gives you a key.
Drew, have you seen your new estimate?
Wow. No.
There's a lot of zeros in your restaurant.
Heck yeah, there's a lot of zeros, finally. Like heck yeah, okay. We're gonna go through dogs. Dogs are gonna be really bad for me, so hopefully I can actually go through them. Ow, ow. Please don't.
Yes, these dogs are not cool.
These dogs are not really fun, but okay, we got through them. Alright, cat. Do I have health? Okay, cool.
Oh, kitty cat. No, he's gone.
Up next is the wine cellar. The wine cellar is gonna be really rough, so I'm just gonna leave Amai to like commentate over the wine cellar and such.
And unfortunately, we passed by him very fast, but Harry Mason was slamming his head against the wall over there.
No, that's not Harry Mason. Oh yeah, that's Harry Mason. Yeah. Did the James Sunderland?
Yeah, this is James Sunderland.
Thought they'd say this. Look at James Sunderland.
This is good. Good cutscene.
James Sunderland.
I don't know.
Let's go.
I mean, he did decent, but I don't know what he was thinking on the second part.
I mean, he tried. He did try, though. Alright, let me kill this guy real quick. There we go. I'm gonna take a safety kind of precaution right here. Normally, I don't do this, but yeah. Oh, jump scare. Cool. I need to take a health drink right here because I really need that. Alright, here comes the sewers part. I mean, not sewers, wine cellar.
Yeah, so the wine cellar part is definitely very dangerous. Zombies everywhere, and we do get another reference to Resident Evil 4 with the generator enemy that is basically the same thing as the regenerator in 4. They have like insane health pools. If you shoot off limbs, they regenerate, and it does a ton of damage. So you have to try to do all this, get a puzzle piece, and then run back out a small hallway. And
oh wow, this is actually really bad, but oh, this is so bad. Oh, this is so bad. Wow, I am probably about to die. Please, get me out of here. Okay, I am barely alive now. Okay, I'm dead. Wow. All right, let's go with a safe file right here.
Yeah, that's a run killer right there for sure.
Yeah, that's a very bad of a run killer. The RNG for that area was so bad, but yeah, I got a safe file at least, so we get to go back into one of the areas in here, which is convenient enough that I have a save file right here, because that room is like one of the hardest rooms to actually go by. If you don't have a really good like crowd of zombies that just like go towards like one side, that's it, you're done.
Yeah, the generator blocks, you can't do anything there either. Especially if he blocks you like early on in the hall, because you can't take it. So it's a really rough area.
It is definitely a rough area. Alright, let's try this again. Take 2. Alright, now he's super fast. Okay, cool. Ah, there we go. That's what I wanted. Alright, we are out of here. That's so much of a better RNG than just now. Alright. Dungeon area. So dungeon is it houses like a couple of bosses. We're gonna kill one boss and leave one boss behind. So yeah, there's that. Again, another Resident Evil inspired kind of boss in this place later on. So we're gonna get that pretty soon.
Oh yeah, it's the boss that everyone will love, I'm sure.
Alright.
So if you haven't guessed what kind of boss is coming up potentially, well, they introduce a new spider enemy.
Oops. Ouch. Alright, bringing out the dynamite real quick, because I'm going to be using the dynamite for this boss. This is giant spider. What the? I died? Oh no. Okay, wait, I have a save file right here. Okay. Wow, I did not realize that I'm like low in health. Was I really that low in health?
I thought you were.
Oh no, no. I died to the whatever it is. No, I died to the the fire, the dynamite. That's what it is.
Oh.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's some dumb AOE that like if you go way too near to the dynamite, you die. I'm like, what? But hey, you know what? Another save file. At least I got another save file as well. I came prepared at least. Normally with my practice runs, I do not die that easily, but like I totally forgot about the whole AOE stuff because like okay, like the dynamite really goes super far. I mean super super far into its like explosions. All right, now we're gonna do this again, but much cleaner.
Go.
Also, like I have not run this game in like years, so that's why. There you go, finally. Second time's the charm, like always.
The dynamite didn't explode this time.
Yeah, wine cellar didn't go well. This part didn't go well. Always second time, the charm. But yeah, this game is like super rough. If you ever play this game and try to like go through this game in even the normal difficulty of it, it's really tough. Other than that, we're gonna talk about the silver discs as well. So these silver discs, in exchange, it would give you the gold plates. Yeah, gold plates. And we are gonna be collecting 3 of them in order for me to defeat the final boss of the game. I'm gonna hope that the final boss is gonna be nice to me because I don't have a safe stage for the final boss. And I will go through it. All right, last part.
You can save right before him, right?
I think so. Yeah, you can. Oh no, this guy's dying. Rip.
Yeah.
All right. So one cool like boss reference in this whole entire area. We'll get to that pretty soon. Damn. All right. This place is also really rough. Yeah.
Yeah, those are demons, right?
I'll go through you real quick. I need to go through you. Yeah. I'll kill these guys real quick. I'm gonna make myself like a clearer path because these guys are just really rough in terms of like how they are. If they were to block me and such, I really don't want to get blocked and such. There we go.
Now you don't want to deal with them while you're dealing with the next boss, for sure.
Yeah. All right, this is the next boss. I'm gonna be showing the cutscene real quick. If you do know about Monty Python, is it Monty Python? Yeah, Monty Python. Yeah. Big beast.
Yeah,
cute little rabbit.
Monster.
Yeah, but it really hurts a lot when he does that. Yep, as you can tell. All right, let me go through you. Ow, please, ow. Yeah, they really stun so much as well.
Yeah.
Okay, I should have the stamina to actually go through this. Cool.
But for a normal casual playthrough, that rabbit is definitely a very tough boss.
Yeah, it's really tanky as well. Yeah. Alright, this is the last one that we are doing. Okay, here goes nothing. This is the last boss of the game, which is the boss nightmare, whatever it is. Nightmare boss, that's what it is. Alright, I'm gonna save right here real quick.
Lord of Nightmares or something?
That's the one, yeah. Also, there's someone in chat asking if there's a holy hand grenade. There is a holy hand grenade in this game, but in order to get it, we had to kill the rabbit. So there's that. All right, here comes the Lord of Nightmares. This is the final boss of the game. I probably go way overestimate, but whoops, sorry.
Really, your estimate is 25 minutes. You already told me you changed it.
That is true, though. Oh, he's doing really bad boss, RNG on me, huh?
But the RNG...
Yeah, my RNG is bad. Man, why is my RNG super bad today? Wow. Okay, that's like super bad right now. Right. Let me actually try to reload real quick. I really need a reload. Alright. Oh no, he brought out the whatever it is.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god, wow. Got it in the nick of time. Alright, there's time's coming up pretty soon as well. Yeah. At the end of the game we get out the nightmare and then we get to meet the the cat.
Where's he Kitty.
Hello, cat. Yes. And time. There we go.
Underestimate.
Well,
there you go.
Not really underestimate.
Your estimate was 25. We forgot to mark it down.
Sure, that's true. But yeah, that was Nightmare of Decay. At the end of the game, you get a really scary nightmare that you actually get dragged back into the dimension of Decay. You get dragged back into the mansion and saying like, oh yeah, the nightmare has just begun because, yeah, you did not really get out of the nightmare. You're still in the nightmare of Decay. But yeah, that's Nightmare of Decay. It is kind of like a Resident Evil inspired game. It's made by like one person. Shout outs to Checkmatey. Shout outs to the Nightmare of Decay speedrunners as well. Amai run this game as well. He ran it right with me when the game came out. Shout outs to people like Scuddy and Nitsmelt, Corinth, all the other co-runners that ran this game as well. This game is a really hard game as well, as you can totally tell. As I'm playing like any % normal, the RNG was really bad to me, but I guess we got through the nightmare of the game. Any shout outs you want to do, Amai?
No, just, thanks for having me, and yeah, make sure y'all check out this game. It's like $5 or less, and even includes a randomizer and like horde modes and like a dungeon mode. Like it's wild how much content there is. So
yeah, just made by one person as well. Yeah.
So thanks everyone.
If you want to check Amai out, it's Amai_Fox. If you want to check me out, it's Juhorse. That's JUHORC. Do a lot of horror games, a lot of variety games as well. And Ek, you can take it away.
All right, well, thank you for doing that run, Mr. Juhorse. Once again, that was Nightmare of Decay. If you did like it, you can find Juhorse. I believe his link is in Twitch chat. Thank you both, and thank you all for watching. Hope you have a wonderful rest of the day or night. This has been the episode of Speedruns from the Crypt. We put on these shows about every 2 weeks or so. A lot of fun horror stuff, our bi-weekly horror hotfix. So hopefully you had a good time. If you did miss out on either Crosshair or Speedruns from the Crypt, you can stay tuned as we replay both shows after a brief break, and you can tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern for Game Over and Think Fast. Anyway, I have been your host, Decay. I plan a lot of these shows. My name's Simran here if you ever want to check out more of that. But I do hope you have a wonderful rest of the day or night, and take it easy.